Talking Ball Y'all Media proudly brings to you Friday Night Gridiron, powered by Diamond Productions. Their motto is, we don't set the bar, we raise it. Now let's head out to the stadium and join the voice of the Maroon Tide, Clay Sweet and Ricky Whitaker.
Welcome into tonight's broadcast, Thursday night edition, as we are getting ready to put a bow on the regular season with a matchup between a couple of county rivals as the Pearl River Central Blue Devils have made the short 7-mile journey down Highway 11 to take on the Maroon Tide here at Lee Triplett Stadium. Maroon Tide will enter tonight's contest with an 8-1 record, 4-0 in region play, coming off a 35-31 victory over the Gaucher Gators a week ago. That win wrapped up the district title for the Picayune Maroon Tide, and with that, the number one seed in Region 4 for the playoffs. Blue Devils will come in with a 6-3 record, 2-2 in region play. They took a 49-21 game against Long Beach last week, guaranteed at least the 4 seed in the playoffs. So a couple of playoff teams on the docket tonight. Pearl River County, this is going to be a big one for you. Packed stadium here at Lee Triplett Field. And I'm Ricky Whitaker. We appreciate you tuning in as we invite you to share the link with friends and family for the live stream. And please, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the Talking Ball Y'all YouTube channel. For those of you that have done that, we certainly appreciate you doing that. We're into our Mossy of Picayune pregame show, and joining me in the booth for probably the next 30 minutes or so is going to be Mr. Greg Ducker. Greg Ducker's done a great job this year. He's brought sideline reports up to us. He keeps our scoreboard going and does a great job with Jeremy Shesby and Darren Usdale steering our Picayune post-game podcast. So, Greg, welcome in.
Thanks, Ricky. It's good to be here tonight. Yeah, you were talking about a packed stadium. Boy, people got here early, and they are already ready to see a good football game this evening, and I think that's exactly what they're going to get.
Yeah, just great weather too, Greg, right? I mean, it's not too cold, and me and Clay like that up here in the booth. We get pretty chilly, got the windows up, got some good ambient sound coming through here. And, Greg, let's get right to it. So, Mississippi Class 6A playoffs are going to start next week. We already talked about the seedings. Picayune's locked up the 1 seed. Pearl River Central guaranteed at least the 4. That could change. So if they win tonight and Long Beach were to beat Hancock, they could get the 3. But in the playoffs either way. So you think about a game like this, emotions are going to be high. You don't really have a whole lot to play for outside of pride, right, for the county. But from a playoff seeding standpoint, not much there. How do you prepare, or does that change your approach for these coaches tonight?
Yeah, I mean, you talk about not a lot to play for but pride. And I think looking at PRC as they've come in and had the best season they've had in the past decade, right, and they've locked off that playoff bid, they would not be unhappy to try to change that seeding a little bit. And for the first time, I was trying to remember back, is it 14 games that they haven't knocked off Picayune? They would like to stop that right now tonight. And so we saw them come off the sideline. They're all fired up, and we know the Feaster is going to have them ready to go. The question is going to be, for us as the Maroon Tide, are we looking past them, already looking to playoffs? And if we are, it's going to be a dangerous spot for the Tide tonight.
Yeah, a lot of weapons on the field tonight. We'll talk about some of those a little bit later in our pregame here. We're going to take our first break. When we return, we'll hear from Picayune Maroon Tide head coach Cody Stogner. We'll take a deeper dive into tonight's matchup. We'll also have our Talking Ball Y'all tale of the tape. You're listening to Picayune Maroon Tide football here on our Mossy Picayune pregame show, back in 2 minutes.
Thanks for stopping by Mossy of Picayune. We're proud to be your family-owned GM Superstore, serving Mississippi and Louisiana with new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs. Here, you're more than just a customer, you're part of the Mossy family. We offer a family-friendly atmosphere backed by GM-certified parts and service, and a team that's here to help you every step of the way. Mossy of Picayune, it's small-town friendly service with big-time savings.
Hi, this is Sandy Kane Smith. I'm running to serve as your next Pearl River County Tax Assessor Collector. I've been responsible for managing over 100 employees, multi-million-dollar budget, and audits across all areas of county government. I will make sure you will get a fair assessment, fully staffed office, and bring back hometown customer service. Thank you for allowing me to serve the last 16 years as your Board of Supervisor. I truly appreciate your confidence and support, but on November the 4th, I need your help. Your vote makes the difference. This is Sandy Kane Smith, and I will see you at the polls.
Paid for by Sandy Kane Smith for Tax Assessor Collector.
Tucked away in the woodlands of Pearl River County is where you will find the Henry Smith House and its sister property, River Oak Manor. From an elegant Victorian estate to a sleek, cozy farmhouse, these two stunning venues are perfect for weddings, events, or a weekend escape. The properties offer serenity with a genuine and unique experience among pristinely beautiful grounds. Experience Southern charm, modern comfort, and unforgettable moments, all in one gorgeous destination. River Oak Manor is breaking ground for continued expansion for wedding and event accommodations and are booking reservations for 2026 and beyond. Visit bearriveroakmanor.com and start planning for your perfect getaway today.
Protecting your personal belongings is a basic human instinct. You've worked hard for what you have. At Executive Storage, we are dedicated to providing you true, secure storage options and peace of mind. With 2 convenient locations to choose from, you can trust us to protect your personal, family, and business assets. Give us a call today at 601-798-4000 and let us help you protect your most prized possessions.
It's just, one of those things.
It's been the message here pregame with head coach Cody Stockner. Coach, finish out the season tonight against a very talented PRC team. A lot of excitement for them for having their first winning season and pose for the playoffs. What's been the message to the Tide this week to keep them on track and not looking ahead?
Well, if you look at it, we're both guaranteed one more week of playing football. So, we want to get out here and put forth our best effort, and I'm sure they're trying to do the same thing because, you don't want to limp going into that first round of playoffs because that's when the games matters. That's when you have to win or go home. So I think, we're going to start to see both teams just trying to get better at themselves throughout the night. And obviously we're all here to try to win the football game, but at the same time we're just looking to get better and getting off to the right foot going into the next week.
So what has been the message to the team this week as far as you talk about we've got one more week of guaranteed football that we're going to play? What are some things that you really wanted to see them improve on tonight?
Well, I just want to see 4 full quarters. We put together some pretty good halves, a couple quarters here and there. I just want to be able to see if we can play all 3 phases of the game to almost perfection. We're always striving for perfection. We say, we want to push for it, but we never get it. But at the same time, we can see when we're getting close to it. So I want to see that on all 3 phases of the game for not just 1 quarter, 2 quarters, but for all 4 quarters.
Okay. Coach, tonight going against a quarterback that is a true dual-threat quarterback, the issue is going to be trying to contain him and work with him. How do you get your guys to really focus in on their assignments tonight, make sure that they make tackles when they're supposed to?
If you don't do your job, you're going to end up on somebody's highlight film. We've been saying that to them all year, and, we've been on a couple of them. But, Coach Feaster over there, he's a great quarterback, young player, too, so it looks like he's ahead of his time right now, just turning the film on. But it's going to be a tough challenge. Everybody's got to be fundamentally sound, and we got to line up correctly, and we just got to play with relentless effort and attitude. So it's going to be a war out here tonight, and a lot of pride going for both sides right here, and it's just, one of those things like, hey, we're just going to have to get after it, and whoever doesn't blink, we might come out ahead on this one.
All right. Coach, thank you for your time. Good luck tonight.
Yes, sir. Roll Tide.
There you have it. Greg Ducker had a chance to catch up with Cody Stockner. Greg, give us your thoughts on some things that stood out to you from your time with Cody.
Talking to Cody tonight, the big thing he wants to make sure is that they play a complete game, right? And I had the opportunity to talk with him in the post-game last week about that, and he was just adamant, and we've all talked about it, that we have not seen Picayune Maroon Tide play a complete full game and play their best football. So that's what he really wants to see from them tonight is, the message has been, hey, we've got one more week of guaranteed football, but you've got to play tonight. He says, hey, we would love to have perfection, but, perfection's not what we're after. We want to put together the complete game.
That's right, and what a better time to do it, right? There's really no better time to do it than now here on the heels of a playoff game. And I said this in our preview episode this week, kind of a dress rehearsal, right? You want to come out, you're not going to do anything to your seating, but you want to see a hot team. You want to see mistakes that have been made, turnovers being minimized, not having as many penalties pre-snap. That's some things that we'll be looking at. And then you mentioned the dual-threat quarterback in Feaster and the weapons around him. Let's take a look at that Talking Ball Y'all Tell of the Tape graphic that we've got together this week. And what you'll see if you're taking this in on the live screen, we've got a couple of those guys that we are going to consider to be impact players. Titus Feaster, you see his numbers, and what's really cool is he and Zay Dennis both WLOX Players of the Week. Titus got that this week. Zay had it a couple of weeks ago. So a couple of leaders here for their teams. And what we don't have on here on this graphic, you see Titus's passing yards, but those rushing numbers as well. 721 yards on the ground with 11 additional touchdowns. He has been that dual-threat quarterback.
Yeah, and that's one thing. Looking at the games we've played this year, I don't know that we've played that pure dual-threat quarterback yet. And so it's going to be interesting to see the scheme that Coach Hayden has come up with tonight, how we're going to address that, because we know that he is very much a threat in the air. But, boy, he is not ashamed or afraid to tuck that ball and take off.
Yeah, it's kind of a copycat league. When you've got game film, you take what people do well and try to duplicate it. Greg, I look for Pearl River Central to come out here tonight defensively and try to do what they did against Poplarville. They ran a 50 look, that's 5 down linemen. They had 2 additional walked up on the edges. I think they'll have 7 on the edges. But, again, what we've seen with Zay Dennis is if he can get behind that, it's going to be a potential for a long touchdown run from him. So I look for that defensively. And I think for the Maroon Tide, you flip on the film and what Pascagoula did, they had a 4-man front. I think we'll see that tonight defensively. They'll come out and run that 4-man look. Looking at these stats and on this graphic, Greg, what's some things that jump out to you the most?
Well, I mean, balance, right? We've talked about that. If you look at Pearl River Central in the tail of the tape, rushing 171, passing 194. That's balance, right?
Yep.
And then we look at Picayune, and we've got 376 yards rushing and 52 passing. So, I mean, there is definitely a balance on the Pearl River side, and Picayune is known for the run-heavy offense. So those are the things that kind of jump out to me tonight when you look at that. Of course, you're talking about Zay and Titus, both 2 very talented young men. So it's going to be a fun ball game tonight, Rick.
Yeah, and Titus coming off of a really good performance, 18 for 20 a week ago, 468 yards, I think was a number. He's already set the new school record for passing and then broke his record later in this year. So he's put up some really good numbers. And something that you said with Jeremy Shesby in the Picayune postgame podcast last week, and Caden Smith said it in Pearl River Central's postgame podcast, was that yak number, yards after catch. That's something that these guys can do. Corday Russell, we've seen him take a 3-yard slant route. We know what Kendall Morrison can do. These are some guys that can take a short route or a hitch and hurt you if you don't tackle.
Yeah, looking back at it, one of the things that's been so impressive to me is those yak yards for Pearl River Central. I mean, they have been so dangerous with the 10 and 15-yard pass plays. I mean, just absolutely. And besides that, out of the backfield, and that's been Picayune's issue this year, is not finishing the tackle. We may run up and we may, trade war paint with somebody, but if you don't finish the tackle, then it's pointless, right? If they go for another 10 or 15 yards. So we have got to make sure to be textbook tonight, technical in wrap-ups. And so when we make that first contact, try to eliminate that yak yard damage.
I think that's really good points by you. And, just looking at the points allowed by the Blue Devils this year, they've done a little bit better than us, and that's including, they had a shutout win over Bay High, but then got shut out by Pascagoula, who's been very hot right now, but really similar there. You mentioned the balance. That jumped out to me there, too. They've also had some takeaways. They can get sacks as well. So we're expecting a really, really good ball game tonight. And only thing going on in Pearl River County, Poplarville Hornets, also a playoff team. They start their playoff game tomorrow night, but we appreciate you tuning in with us here on this Thursday night edition of our broadcast. And Greg, I'll ask you this: some keys of the game for you? If things are going well for the Maroon Tide, what are we going to be seeing?
I think if things are going well for the Maroon Tide, then we have been disciplined on the offensive front line. And we have seen it too many times this year where we have had positive yardage brought back because of a penalty. So I think that's going to be one key is discipline up front, no needless penalties. All penalties are needless, right? We shouldn't even say needless penalties because all penalties are needless. But no mistakes. You've got to be mentally in the game. You've got to know what you've got to do. And also I would say if things are going well for the Maroon Tide, then defense. They're playing their assignments. They're making those tackles, and yak yards have not become an issue.
I think that's really good points by you. Let's flip it to Pearl River Central. If things are going well for the Devils, what are some things you think we'll see?
Well, I think if things are going well for the Devils, you know, they've got a smaller end, right, on defense, but an impactful one, right? And so I think that if he is getting in the backfield and making some disruption, how many tackles for a loss did we say he had?
Like 12.
12 tackles for loss.
6 sacks.
Yeah, so, I mean, very disruptive in the backfield. Then you've got to think defense is clicking for them. But, you know, if you come out and you see a big lead, then you know that Titus has come out and put on a show.
Yeah, Talon Johnson, the young man that you were referencing there, we expect him to be an impact player defensively, and we're going to need our impact players on defense. Nolan Smith, we expect to see him a lot. Nola Wilson, and Big Mitch as well. We want to see those two guys really dominating at the line of scrimmage. And I'll add this for some of my takeaways tonight, Greg. I think that for the Maroon Tide, you saw the unbalance with the run versus the pass. Like, that's what we do. We're a running team. Wouldn't be surprised if we go to the air and take a shot on the first play of the game. I'm throwing out a prediction there on that. You flip to the Devil side. We've seen the balance there. Does the Devils stay with the run? They get enough going to open up more in the passing. If they abandon the run, I think it could mean trouble for the Devils. So that's some things I'll be looking for tonight is, are they mixing the run in enough to keep Maroon Tide defense honest?
Yeah, I mean, and that's a great point. You know, is Picayune going to come out tonight and pass to open the run? And is Pearl River going to come out tonight and open with the run to open up the pass? I mean, you know, so it could be very, very interesting. I like that prediction there, Slick. So I'm gonna hold you to that.
We'll see. It's a bold prediction. We will soon see. But we're going to take another 2-minute timeout. We appreciate you taking us in tonight, and hope you're joining us on the live stream as well. We're getting ready to get this thing started. We're about 12 minutes from kickoff here. We're going to take another timeout. Be back in 2 minutes.
The days of hiding your money in a mattress or burying it in the backyard are long gone. Our friends at Bank Plus can help you save for a rainy day. Hurry in and let their friendly staff help you with all your banking needs. Stop by any of their locations today at 115 Williams Avenue and 951 Memorial Boulevard in Picayune, or 105 North Main Street in Poplarville. Bank Plus is more than a name, it's a promise.
Looking to buy or sell your land, home, or commercial property in Pearl River County? Then it's time to call the hometown experts at Valente Real Estate. Our friendly local team is here to make sure your real estate dreams come true with personalized home searches, expert guidance, and flexible property showings that work around your schedule. From the first showing to the final signature, we're right by your side, making sure your experience is smooth, stress-free, and right on time. At Valente Real Estate, we believe in more than just closing deals. We build lasting relationships, one happy client at a time. So whether you're ready to find your dream home or sell your current property, visit us at 109 North Main Street in downtown Picayune, or give us a call at 601-799-3477. Valente Real Estate, where your next chapter begins.
Need a plumber? Let Harold's Plumbing help you with that. Whether it's new construction or just a plumbing repair, Harold can make it happen. Harold's Plumbing is licensed and can do both residential and commercial jobs. Give Harold's Plumbing a call at 601-273-0598 and let him handle all your plumbing and septic tank services.
A lot goes into powering this community. That's why your Touchstone Energy Cooperative wants you to know we've got you. It's a pledge to make sure you're always taken care of. A pledge we honor every day. From our member service representatives to our linemen and those making sure the power you use is there when you need it. We've got you. Always.
Brought to you by Coast Electric, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Friday night lights, hometown pride, and neighbors you can count on. That's what makes our community special. And that's exactly what you'll find at FNB Picayune Bank, your hometown bank. With 4 convenient branches in Picayune, you'll always see the same friendly faces ready to help, whether it's everyday checking or big life goals. Visit fnbop.com or stop by today, where banking feels like home.
We're back, folks. We're going to bring you back in for the prayer and the national anthem.
Welcome back into Lee Triplett Stadium tonight. I certainly appreciate Greg Ducker there pinch hitting for me, and always the way that you're able to help and do Ricky Whitaker and creating a graphic for this week. You're going to have to let me catch my breath, dude. I had to sprint across here and pick up another phone, and so a bit out of breath. But what a scene here in Pearl River County tonight on a Thursday night edition of high school football.
Yeah, this is the hottest ticket in Pearl River County, maybe the only ticket in Pearl River County on this Thursday night. Clay, is Poplarville Hornets going to kick off their playoffs tomorrow, so this is it. It's the only thing going on in town. It is a packed house.
Yeah, it really is just a great, phenomenal showing of support here for both of these groups. Rick, I'm going to let you tell the listeners and the viewers here about the Pearl River Central captains, any numbers that kind of stand out to you for these captains while I kind of gather myself here in the booth.
Yes, sir, we'll do. So we got number 5. That's going to be John Feaster Jr. Number 19, Aiden Westbrook. We got number 17, Wesley Russell. Number 2, Talon Johnson. Number 40, Aiden Inman. And number 50, Zachary Mitchell.
Awesome job by you as usual, Ricky Whitaker, for the Maroon Tide tonight. That's going to be Mitchell Smith, one of the captains, along with, let's see, that is Mr. Bolden, Javian Bolden, Nolan Wilson for the Tide. Then rounding out the 4 captains tonight, Amari Scott, the team's leading tackler for the Tide. That's the captains tonight, and we are under 4 minutes from getting this one kicked off, Ricky Whitaker. You've said it. Beautiful setting not only in the fan support that's shown out for both clubs, but a nice night for football here in South Mississippi.
It's a beautiful night. Yeah, and it's you grow up in Pearl River County. You and I both, of course, went to Picayune. We sometimes called PRC. Sometimes you called them just the Devil. Sometimes you called them Pearl River Central. Sometimes you said Carrier, and they're taking homage to that. They're going to have that Carrier on the front of those white jerseys tonight.
Yeah, how cool is that to kind of lean in to that? As you said, let's see what the White Hat's going to tell us that has happened at the coin toss. Pearl River Central set to receive. So that's interesting, Rick. We'll see this explosive offense, which y'all laid out beautifully in our Talking Ball Y'all Tell of the tape. And then you will see that Picayune defense try to see if it can answer and get some stops early. See if it can't set the tone tonight for our Picayune Maroon Tide. Tide going to be in gray breeches, maroon tops, white numerals, those beautiful maroon headgears. Rick's already talked about a bit of the uniforms for the Blue Devils. White bottoms, white tops, that black headgear with the Blue Devil logo on it. Smoke effects, Little League players.
Got it all tonight.
Whole nine here for the Tide. We are on the visitor side. If you're taking in our broadcast, you're accustomed to that. And that sound you hear in the background, you don't want to hear a whole lot tonight. And that's the Blue Devils that have made their way to the sideline nearest to us. As Jackson Harrelson up top, locked in on the Diamond Production live stream here on the Talking Ball Y'all YouTube channel. We appreciate you choosing us tonight. If you like what you see, tell somebody. We need you to share and subscribe. Help us get the word out. Rick, for my benefit, give me a couple keys to tonight's ball game, as I was kind of in and out. Getting the old car part tonight wasn't the easiest thing, and so kind of give me some of your keys to tonight's ball game.
I mean, I think it's simple, Clay. I'll go back to something that Greg Ducker said about tackling those yards after catch that this Pearl River Central offense, these weapons, and the Corday Russells and the John Juniors, the Kendall Morrisons can do. They can take a quick slant, and they can score on you if you don't tackle. But I think for Pearl River Central side, they can't abandon the run. They've got to establish a running game. If they go too one-dimensional, it could be trouble for them. For the Maroon Tide, I think defensively we're going to see a four-man look. I wouldn't be surprised if they come out with Mitchell Smith and Nolan both in the middle to start this ball game. We'll have to see, but getting off to a hot start is going to be really, really important.
We're set to find out as Edgar Cruz, big 77 for the Maroon Tide, going to tee it up. And we are about to get this one underway. Cruz has knocked it all the way 2 yards deep for yet another touchback, Ricky Whitaker. We've grown certainly accustomed to that, as Edgar Cruz now with 26 touchbacks on the year.
Yeah, he has been just on fire. And it looks like we're going to get what we asked for, Clay. You see big 74 and big 72 lined up there in the middle. Four-man look. We saw Pascagoula do that. I think that's what we'll see from this defense. I think defensively from the Devils, we'll probably see something similar to what they ran against Poplarville. 50 look, 5 down linemen, but had 2 walked up on the edges. So probably a 7-man front there for them.
Blue Devils going to have 80 yards out in front of them. Will set up shop from their own 20. 3 wides, now 4 to the bottom of the screen. Going to sling it out. Caught. Nice tackle after the catch. Only going to be a gain of 1, maybe 1.5. Got it in the hands of Hinton early. Swung it to him out of the backfield, but a really good tackle. Nice pursuit there by our Picayune Maroon Tide defense.
Yeah, really good pursuit there by the Tide, and Devils still get a couple out of it, get some positive yard, and see what they do here for second down.
2nd and 8 from the 22. Feaster's got it, does Titus, has made a strike of a throw. Called at the 30, advanced up to the 35-yard line, puts it in the belly of Russell. A really good pitch and catch here for the Blue Devils. Get the first down, get it to the 35.
A really good play design there. He throws his shoulder in the direction of, I believe that was Kendall Morrison. He's just got his hands up, and then right behind him on a slant route goes Corday.
2 wide receivers now to the bottom of the screen. 1 long wide receiver to the top. Titus Feaster in a shotgun formation. Bring a man left to right in motion. Good pursuit, but can they make the stop? No, the Tide had a tackle for the loss, but just didn't make the play. Going to end up with a 3 or 4 yard gain and an early after the play type activity as Mitchell Smith involved here on the Blue Devil sideline. But Rick, there's a missed or wasted opportunity from the Tide defensively. We're going to have a tackle for a loss, but just couldn't make the play. Instead, not a big gain, but a gain of 3 that could have been a tackle for a loss of about 3 or 4.
Yeah, should have been a tackle for a loss, and very fortunate there not to get 15 added on to it. A little bit of extracurriculars after the play there for the Maroon Tide defense. Don't want to have any of that.
No, you do not. As you now will put 3 wide receivers to the top of this formation. J.J. Feaster to the top of those 3. It's going to be a shotgun formation snap, and Nolan Wilson almost beat it back to Titus Feaster. There will be a flag. They're going to say the Blue Devils moved early. So now going to set up now, let's call it a 2nd and 12 as it drops it back to the 33. Three wides to the top. Feaster spins it a couple times. He's gotten it to Russell. Running room after the catch to the 42. Corday Russell. And another nice play for this Blue Devil offense will get them in 3rd and pretty short here after the penalty. Erase that and then some. Blue Devils cooking here early. 9:50 to go. 0-0 our score. Blue Devils looking for their 2nd first down and to move the chains again. A long 3rd and 3. Titus going to call his own number, does Feaster, but he's gobbled up and stopped. No gain on the play. Great pursuit by the Tide. That was Nolan Wilson, a big 4-star leading away. Got helped by Colin Agana. What'd you like from the Tide there, Ricky Whitaker?
Really good penetration there by that front 4. And looks like the Devils are at least looking like they're going to go for it.
I would expect them to here, about 4th and 4. Wrong side of the field, but really not a whole lot to lose on a night like tonight, trying to prove something early against this Tide defense. Going to have a substitution here for the Blue Devils. I believe an offensive lineman didn't have his knees covered.
Yep, and this might be a no play here, Clay. You got to make sure you don't jump. Hard count picks the first down up.
Yeah, and that's a good point made by you as usual. And there it is. Tide jump, just as Ricky Whitaker says it. Can't do it, and we do. And look at Coach Steigner across the way. Boy, oh boy, he was thinking along with you, Rick.
You got to know it's coming.
Yep, can't do it, and we did. Probably going to be a first down. We'll wait and see how it plays out. It will be. Going to be a yard beyond the sticks.
Yeah, get a chance to get off the field there, and instead, Devil offense going to stay on the field and going to stay on the field with some confidence as they've been moving the ball pretty well.
That's why you got to like to go for it there. Let your opponent help you a bit, and did. Whether they're going to run a play or not, we'll never know. 3 wide receivers now to the bottom of the screen. Blue Devils working from their own 47. Out of his hands quickly. This is to Morrison. Speaking of quick, he is to the 43-yard line of the Tide. Yet another first down. The Blue Devils have 3 of those here in their opening possession with 8:50 to go. No score in tonight's ball game.
Yeah, and really outside of the longer, or I say mid-range pass that Feaster threw, it's been short plays. We talked about that that yard after catch. That's what the Devils are, how they're doing their damage so far.
Yep, just get it out of that point guard's hands quickly. Here it is again. Corday Russell with a catch. 35, 33-yard line. Going to be close to another first down, Ricky Whitaker. A variance of about the same play over and over again as Titus Feaster just getting it out, whether it be Hinton, Russell, or Morrison, quickly out of his hands and letting These playmakers do the job after the fact, and it indeed was the 4th first down of this opening drive.
Yep, Hinton yet to have a carry. He's had a pass out of the backfield, but it's been all Feaster in the run game so far.
3 wides to the right. That's the bottom of the live stream. Titus Feaster looking down the middle. This route's going to take time to develop for the first time tonight, kind of taking a longer shot, a deeper shot, and credit the Tide. They were in good coverage. That was Cam Quinn initially giving way to Jamari Hathorn. Hathorn was in a good spot.
Yep, Maroon Tide secondary right where they needed to be that play, and still maybe a better throw. You might have a chance to get in position and make a play there, but good play by the Maroon Tide defense either way.
First time it's going in the incomplete column that I'm aware of, Rick, and the Blue Devils off of that incompletion going to burn a timeout and discuss it. It'll give us time to reset. No score yet in this one. 0-0. We're at the 7:54 mark in our opening quarter. What have you liked out of the Blue Devils offense so far, Rick?
I think it's just been taking what the Maroon Tide gives them. We know that they're probably going to run man. That they're going to be off by 6 or 7 yards. So Feaster's done a nice job of taking those short routes, taking what the Tide gives him, and then he's kept them honest enough using his legs.
Yeah, that's a good point. The one time the route took a bit of time to develop, that's been the incompletion. He's been on the money, though, putting it on guys in stride on the other routes. It's kind of what we saw on film. Yeah. What a game a week ago by Titus Feaster. Then you look at Zay Dennis. The 2 impact players we featured at the top have been outstanding. Tied with a freshman back at that safety position. That's Zayden Foxworth. He'll be pressed into coverage on this play, I would think, as you've got 3 wide receivers at the bottom of the screen. He's a ball hawk. He's small in stature, but he can go find the football, can Zay Foxworth. He's dressed in 3 back there. He's the deepest guy back for the Tide. 2nd and 10. Feaster's looking that way. He's going to take a shot deep into traffic and caught. What a catch. Kendall Morrison went about 3 steps up the old ladder, Ricky Whitaker, and came down with it. Not a lot of guys in the ballpark tonight making that catch, but the center fielder had it judged perfectly. A beautiful catch at the 6 of the Tide. 1st and goal from there.
Yeah, Tide in good position. Morrison just wanted it more, and he's giving them that graphic at the sideline. Keep feeding me. Keep feeding me.
Wow, what a catch. Not a bad throw, even better catch. J.J. Feaster at the bottom of the screen, but Titus going to call his own number. Will Feaster, he is whacked at about the 6, right at the line of scrimmage. First impact play from Nolan Wilson, as that'll be a half-yard loss. Nolan came in with gaudy numbers on that column. He has now 14 tackles for a loss. We need him to be dominant from here out.
Yep.
He was on that down.
Had a little help from Colin Lagana as well, was in there with him.
Titus Feaster, that's where he's going to live all night. That's the shotgun formation, a little flip out in front, jet type sweep. That counts as a forward pass. That little flip forward to Kendall Morrison gets him to the 4, as it'll be 3rd and goal from the 4. I like that action from the Blue Devils, but that's a good job by the Tide defensively getting the stop.
Yeah, really good job there, and really he takes it not outside. He goes up the middle on that play. Tide held, and we're going to see Mitchell Smith check back in now on this big 3rd down play.
Yeah, and it'll be an overload to the short side of the field. Ball on the right hash, and so are all of the Blue Devil receivers. They're on that short side. That may give Titus or Russell some room out to the left. Breaking back. Nope, just going to run it straight ahead on the right. Did he get in? He's right at the goal line. Blue Devil fans are begging for it. They'll say nope, 4th and goal from about a half-yard out, Rick.
Well, that was close.
5:53 to go in our opening quarter. If you're watching on the booth cam, tune in to the YouTube channel to see the action. Going straight ahead, will Titus Feaster. Not initially in. Boy, did the Tide get a stop. Tell them it's the Tide football. They'll bring the Tide offense on. What a stop 4th and goal, and stood up and stopped by the Tide defense. Will take over on downs within the 1-yard line here, Ricky Whitaker.
Big time stand there. And Clay, we saw this last year in a similar situation with George County. When you run under shotgun, you maybe want to go under center there, but the Maroon Tide held, and I don't think he got in, Clay.
Well, Rick, I love you, but it don't matter.
Nope,
what
don't
you
matter.
think up here, they already told them the good news, and it's the
Yep.
Tide football.
He did not
From the
get in.
half-yard line. That was big. You mentioned Mitchell Smith and what an impact he had on that play. So within the 1, Tide could go 99 here. Here's a give to Zay Dennis to start things. Good job defensively for the Blue Devils. Maybe a half-yard there for Zay Dennis. What a stand. And then you look at it the other way, Rick. What an opening drive for the Blue Devils. Got it from their own 20 down to within half a yard with that opening drive. Very impressive. Just didn't get the result they wanted in the end.
Yeah, did a good job for 99 yards and just couldn't get it in there.
Ty going to put a wide receiver up top. That's Illett. A wide receiver to the bottom. That's Jordan Hathorn. Here's the toss to Zay Dennis. Dennis trying to find room, Rick. He barely, and I mean slithered out to avoid a safety. What pursuit. Zay Dennis lost a half yard. The nose of the football almost on the goal line down there. So listen, the opening drive from the Tide a week ago kind of stalled and had to punt it. You don't want to punt from here, as Nolan Wilson, the punter for the Tide, wouldn't even get his full drop back from where it sits. Here's a pitch to Dennis. Dennis looking for room, makes a spin at the 3, but will be tackled there. Really good individual tackle for the Blue Devils. That was Russell coming up and making a play, and Blue Devils playing really good football to start this thing, Rick. String together a bunch of first downs and then get a 3 and out. Be careful here on the punt.
Yeah, Maroon Tide really with their back to the wall. They're backed up in their own end zone, and Devil defense came out aggressive, really held Zay Dennis to nothing positive there.
Yeah, if I got Dennis with maybe 3 yards on the drive, that's it. Nolan Wilson has the tendency to hold it a bit. This time, they're going to hit a line drive punt, going to hit at the 32, advance forward, and roll all the way out to midfield. So not a bad job there by Nolan Wilson. But credit the Blue Devils, got the 3 and out. And that's tough to do, Rick. Once you think you're potentially going to go up 7-0, you had watched your offense get it all the way down there and potentially score. The momentum was squarely on the Maroon Tide side, and that defense for the Blue Devils able to swing it back.
Yeah, and defense had a long drive against them. Devils used nearly 6 minutes of the clock on their opening drive. And Maroon Tide defense is going to be a little bit winded coming back out.
Yeah, that'll be something to watch here with 3:28 to go in the opening quarter. Kind of a smoky haze is falling on Lee Triplett. Great crowd support, just what you would expect for this Thursday night action. Blue Devils with their second possession, going to start over at their 47-yard line. Titus Feaster with a pump fake. Now he is leaked out to the left side. He's across midfield, across the 40, down to the 37. Pretty good run there by Titus Feaster. He pump faked that shoulder over to the right, Rick. Didn't like what he saw and then just leaked out, sprinting out to his left, and he's got it to the 37 of the Tide.
Yeah, 7:21 on the ground for him with his legs. He's became a very good runner and gotten better and better each game at getting away from pressure, and that time he escapes the Maroon Tide defense.
3 wide receivers to the bottom of the set. 1 lone wide receiver, that's Russell to the top. J.J. Feaster, the brother, the widest guy here to the bottom for younger brother, the sophomore, Titus Feaster. Feaster looks composed, going to take a shot down the far sideline, and it's caught. A flag comes out. It's caught for a touchdown. A beautiful pass to Russell. I think the flag's probably going to go against the Tide for pass interference. I don't think it'll matter. You can hold out hopes if you want, but the Blue Devils have the opening score, a strike, a 37-yard strike from Titus Feaster to Corday Russell.
Yeah, and you could almost see it from the booth, Clay. Single coverage up top, and he just takes a just a straight go route and throws it up where only his man can get it. Beautiful throw by Feaster, comes down with it in traffic, fights through the pass interference, and puts the Devils on the board.
Just an absolute dime dropped in there by Feaster, and then a good catch on the end of it by another extremely good athlete in Corday Russell. And so you look at it, Rick, the Tide did get a stop the first drive, but it came after the Blue Devils drove it 80 yards, stopped them at the half-yard line. Here, there was no stop. Blue Devils lead it 6-0 as we await the Tartar PAT. Been dominance for the Blue Devils when you look at the first 9 minutes of this ball game. Two really good drives. One has resulted in that touchdown. Here's the kick from Tartar. It's good. He's been perfect this year on PAT. Blue Devils, Rick, with your Diamond Productions drive summary, have had it twice and have really tested the Tide defensively on both drives.
Yeah, I mean, really all you could ask for, pretty flawless offensive production for the Devils here in this first quarter. You don't come away with points on the first drive. That would have been, I think, perfection for them. But you look at the clock, Clay, 2:47 remaining. Picayune's touched it 3 times on offense.
Yep, and you go 3 and out, you don't get any kind of stops. That's what's going to happen to that old time of possession deal, and your opportunities is Tide had maybe 3 or 4 yards through those first 3 plays, Rick. Is that what you had the Tide with?
Yep, three there. And, man, I thought, coming in, I told Ducker in our pregame that I thought Picayune may go to the air on the first play of the game. I think that probably took that away, being backed up in your own red zone. But I wouldn't be surprised if they do it here.
This is going to be interesting. After a personal foul, now Tartar's got a chance to onside kick it from midfield if he would like. That's kind of the way the soccer player in Tartar has it angled up, and this is a beautiful kick. Tide don't have it, didn't have it initially. Blue Devils going to have it. Didn't squeeze it. That was Illett with a chance, and Wilkins. Neither got it. Blue Devils did, and when you do dumb things after a score, Rick, and you get a personal foul, you allow your opponent to kick it at midfield, you'll have to pay for it. Tide have. Blue Devils going to take over at the Tide 41-yard line.
And that's Corday Russell that comes up with it, Clay. He's been an impact player himself tonight. We've seen him on defense make some stops. He had a long touchdown reception from Feaster. Makes another play here on special teams.
Yeah, he's really good. There's no doubt about that. Blue Devils lead this one 7-0 to 42. All of the momentum in the world on the side of the blue and white. Have had 2 good drives already. One got to the half-yard line, didn't score. Did on their second possession. Now will touch it for their 3rd time at the Tide 41 after getting an onside kick after a perfect 37-yard strike from Feaster to Russell. Feaster rolling to his left. Now he'll step up in the pocket and just get rid of it. Pretty heady, Rick. Looks different than he did a year ago. That's a play a year ago. I'm not sure that he's willing to just kind of step to his left and get rid of the football.
Yeah. Boy, Coach Feaster talked about the moment sometimes being too big for these younger players. Doesn't seem to be the case tonight here.
No, I would agree. Look pretty calm and cool here in Lee Triplett Stadium. 3 wides to the left, 1 to the right. Now they'll move Hinton from his left hip to his right. Gets it out of his hands quickly. That's to big brother J.J. John Jr. with the catch at the 37. Fall forward to the 36. About a 4-yard pickup will bring up 3rd and 6.
And Devils content just dinking and dunking. You always say it's as good as a short run, a short pass. Get 3 or 4 yards and continue to move the sticks.
Absolutely. 3 wides now, Rick, to the top of that screen. 1 to the bottom, that's J.J. who just made the catch. It's 3rd and 6. Feaster under pressure, but will lead back out to the right. There's a good tackle, though, by Brody Kirkland. Kirkland comes up and gets him right at the line of scrimmage. If he doesn't, Rick, it's going to be at least a 1st down, maybe then some. But that was a really good tackle by Brody Kirkland to get the stop there.
Yeah, really good. And it did bring up 4th down, and Devils look like they're going to go for it again.
Ball at the 36 of the Tide, 4th and 7. Blue Devils, as you just stated, going for it. Hinton, the tailback to the right side. Doesn't have a rush, I don't think, on the ball game, Rick. It's been that short passing game in lieu of the straight running game. Coach Feaster, Coach Kubicki going to burn a timeout, get things straight here from the Blue Devils' perspective. I believe that's their second burn timeout. 7-0, our scoreboard bug showing a 7-2 score. We'll get that cleaned up as it is 7-0. We'll try to get that fixed for you. 1:25 left here in this opening quarter. Rick, a lot of entertainment, a lot of yardage being gained here for the Blue Devils. A big 4th down. We saw the Tide get a stop earlier on a 4th and goal. That was a short yardage situation. You'd have to think the Blue Devils going to try to spread out and make a pass here to Russell, Morrison, or name a weapon. There's plenty for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, they've got a lot to choose from.
We'll see which way Titus Feaster goes with the football. He's got it, pump fake. He's trying to find John, and he's mugged. Held at the 25, an easy call. Jamari on the pump fake just tackled John Jr. Will be an easy flag. Saw that pump fake a ton on film. Jamari had to see it in his film study this week. That's a patented move from those two.
Yep, had him beat. Nothing you could do but just grab him, and going to give them the 1st down.
I'm going to give 10 yards, and should be a 1st down. And it will be. Whitehead taking his time with his crew getting it figured out. 1:22 left here in our opening quarter. 7-0 Tide down to the visiting Blue Devils. Tide, no matter what tonight, going to be the 1 seed. But as Cody said in his pregame interview, do not want to limp into the playoffs. This isn't even a good limp right here with 1:22 left in the opening quarter. Here is Titus Feaster. Takes on a would-be tackler. Just kind of ran over him at about the 7. Where will they spot Titus down? It's before the end zone, but not much, Rick. Wow. That almost looked like a design run from Titus. He didn't check for long before he went. They'll put him out at the 3. Blue Devils looking for more. Already lead at 7-0. Titus trying to go off the right side. He's walloped at the 2. That was a nice play there by Nolan Wilson. Going to be 2nd and goal from the 2.
Brody Kirkland also in there. He comes up from his linebacker spot. And again, you got that. It's almost a bad spot for the Devils to be in when you're that close. You stay in shotgun like that.
They get one here. It'll be a bad spot for the Tide to be in. We'll be down 14-0, Rick, as it's already 7-0. You look back how big that first drive to stop on 4th and goal just outside of the end zone. That's been really the only thing to clap about or to brag about from the Tide perspective through this whole first quarter, as we're down to 44 seconds. It's been a pretty dominant opening quarter for Pearl River Central.
Yeah, and again, Feaster just taking what the defense gives him, not doing anything crazy, not a lot of trick plays, just dinking and dunking where he can get it, using his feet. Been a good runner. Young man said he likes the contact, and he certainly looks like he does.
Yep, as timeout on the field, Rick, if this was charged to the Blue Devils, that will be their last of the half. 7-0 our score. 7-0 our score. 44 seconds left here in this opening quarter. The Blue Devils have it down to the 2-yard line of the Tide. Boy, oh boy, Tide need another stop like they got on that opening drive. Tide have ran 3 offensive plays here in this first quarter. Gave up a touchdown, gave up a long drive, and gave up an onside kick. That's how you touch it for 3 offensive snaps. Tide trying to get a timeout, and they give it to him. Boy, that's lucky. Nolan Wilson saw something he hated. I mean, he's jumping up and down to try to get that timeout. We'll take a timeout with him as well. We'll burn a spot here. We'll come back with a big 2nd and goal opportunity for the Blue Devils after this 1-minute break. Blue Devils on top of your Tide, 7-0, 44 seconds left here in the opening quarter.
A lot goes into powering this community. That's why your Touchstone Energy Cooperative wants you to know we've got you. It's a pledge to make sure you're always taken care of. A pledge we honor every day. From our member service representatives to our linemen and those making sure the power you use is there when you need it. We've got you. Always.
Brought to you by Coast Electric, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Lee Triplett Stadium, campus of Picayune Memorial High School. Blue Devils on top of our Tide, 7-0, 44 seconds to go in our opening quarter. Blue Devils looking for more, have it second and goal at the 2 coming out of the timeout. Titus Feaster trying to go off his left side and will. Titus Feaster with a rushing touchdown, have the Blue Devils out to a 13-0 mark with 39 seconds left here in the opening quarter. We'll await the Diamond Production point after off the foot of Tartar. He's a perfect on the year on his PATs. Just a good blocked run. Quarterback called his all number. Feaster's got one in the air, does Titus, and one on the ground. Good snap back. The hold's good. The kick's low, but it's through. 14-0 as we turn it over to Ricky Whitaker to kind of describe another productive and point-getting Diamond Production drive summary here for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, you had a short field to work with, went with the onside kick, recovered it, and boy, just much of the same as the first drive that Pearl River Central had. And boy, Titus Feasters looked good tonight. 37-yard touchdown pass to Russell, and calls his own number there. Called his own number several times on that drive and goes in from 1 yard out. Maroon Tide offense got to get something going here.
Yeah, he's looked better than good, Rick. He's been a handful for this side defense.
Stays so calm in a pocket.
Yeah.
He just kind of feels his way around, moves up, climbs it where he needs to. That's something you've seen him do a good job of through this season.
I wouldn't trust Tartar here to kick it away, but he has. He squared it up and kicked it down to the 28. That's where Jordan Hathorn's made a good return across midfield up to the 42 of the Blue Devils. Tide needed a little life. Maybe Jordan Hathorn has pumped it into the Tide with a good return. They're going to say the 41 is where Jordan was tackled down. Good return there. Tide going to have a short field in front of it. Needed some life on that far side and got it with a good return there from the senior, Jordan Hathorn.
Yeah, the Maroon Tide here with not a whole lot of time to go in this first quarter. About to start their second drive of the night.
Yep, it ran 3 offensive snaps. Had to punt it from its own end zone a while ago. Here's Dennis. Dennis going to slip down at the 35. Will pick up 6, though. That's the best run of the night so far for Zay Dennis. So we're going to bring up 2nd and 4 after Dennis slipped, but a good run, as that may do it for our opening quarter.
Yeah.
See if the Tide get it snapped.
Yeah, I feel like Zay can get some numbers tonight, but certainly didn't want to spot carrier 14 to start this game.
No, did not. Here's a give to the fullback. That's McKinley. Probably got 1.5 yards. That will do it for our opening quarter. Blue Devils dominate the opening quarter play on top of the Tide, 14-0. We'll return after this 2-minute break. Blue Devils on top of the Tide, 14-0. Go visit Heron Ford, located on Memorial Boulevard in Picayune, Mississippi. They are your proud local Ford Lincoln dealer. Whether you're looking for a used car or a new car, or if you have service needs, visit Herring Ford, once again located on Memorial Boulevard in Picayune, Mississippi.
Tucked away in the woodlands of Pearl River County is where you will find the Henry Smith House and its sister property, River Oak Manor. From an elegant Victorian estate to a sleek, cozy farmhouse, These two stunning venues are perfect for weddings, events, or a weekend escape. The properties offer serenity with a genuine and unique experience among pristinely beautiful grounds. Experience Southern charm, modern comfort, and unforgettable moments, all in one gorgeous destination. River Oak Manor is breaking ground for continued expansion for wedding and event accommodations and are booking reservations for 2026 and beyond. Visit theirriveroakmanor.com and start planning for your perfect getaway today.
Here's Dennis with the run to start the second quarter, and good pursuit by the Blue Devils. Not much of anything at all, Rick. Maybe a half yard at the most. Going to set up a fourth for the Tide, looking for about 3.5 yards inside the 35 of the Blue Devils, but face a fourth down here.
Yeah, and that's going to be a no gain there on the play by Dennis.
If you're watching on the booth cam, flip over, find us on YouTube, the Talking Ball Y'all channel. Just search Talking Ball Y'all. Big fourth down. Here's a give to Dennis straight ahead. Hit early in the run. I don't think he's got it, Rick. Needed to get inside the 30, didn't. Got it to about the 31 and tried to challenge the offensive line and say, hey, block these guys. Go get a tough short yardage situation, and we didn't win at the point of attack. Tumanella and his buddies did. And look at this start for the 4 seed, Rick. Potentially the 4 seed. I guess there's some wiggle room. Tied with the 1 seed. Don't look like it at the moment. If they dropped you from outer space and you had to put the white and blue or the maroon and gray and say, bet your mortgage on who is the 1 seed, you lose every time watching the first quarter and a piece of this one.
Yep, and Maroon Tide, look, it's early in this ball game. We've seen them be down 14 before. But, boy, you gotta settle in and get something positive going here. And a defensive stop, a turnover would be great.
Do we have a first down, Rick?
First down would be great.
Yep. I'd start there. Wow. Look at this. Blue Devils turn the Tide over on down. Going to start from their own 31-yard line already, as Ricky Whitaker just told you, with a 14-0 advantage. Feaster going to send Morrison in motion. Dino breaking back out to the left. Going to take a good one-on-one tackle. We didn't make it. 40 up to the 46 goes Morrison. Enough for the first down. About a 16-yard run there, Rick. Had a guy in a phone booth with him and undressed him. Got it up to the 46, did Kendall Morrison.
Yep, a little option look that time from Feaster. Reads it right. Nobody's on the pitch band and got there a little bit late and didn't tackle him when he was there.
It was a neat play. Brought him in kind of like a half motion, and that's what started that option look. Feaster now with a pistol look, one of the only straight handoffs. Look at them dominate us at the point of attack. Hit at midfield, moved to the 48 was DePaul. That was Dubuisson with the run. Good grief, Rick. Just not winning up front, not winning anywhere so far the time. Certainly not on the scoreboard, down 14-0, 10-20 before our Animal Health Clinic halftime show. The doc's happy here on this near sideline. He helps with the Blue Devil staff, does Dr. Alan Smith.
Yep, he's our neighbor tonight. He's in the booth next to us.
Here is an incomplete pass. Could have been called. It was on the money off the hands of Feaster to Russell, as Titus Feaster made a beautiful throw. Russell going to catch that ball, Rick, 9 out of 10 times. We needed help. He helped us a bit there, not squeezing that one.
Yep, Maroon Tide caught a break there.
3rd and 6. Ball just inside midfield over at the 48 of the Tide. Tide need 2 back-to-back good plays. Blue Devils are going to go for it if it gets to 4. Pistol formation. Now we'll bring Morrison in motion. Holds onto it, does Feaster, and a late flip of it. I believe that was a forward pass, but it's not a flag. They will allow it to be a forward pass, I believe, to Morrison. What a good route that was, Rick. A good option kind of look back there. and he got it to Kendall Morrison, and Morrison knew what to do with it after the fact to the tune of the 26.
Yeah, really good play design there. Morrison comes in motion. I think the Tide thought he was going to pitch it to him, and then
Me
when he
too.
didn't, they thought maybe he was going to keep it. He stops and makes a throw.
Forward pass on the option, Rick. I mean, he threw it overhand. I keep saying forward. I'm looking for overhand. Just a different look there. JJ makes the catch at the 22. He'll score. Brother to brother. That was Titus Feaster to John Jr. And look at this score, Rick. I've gotten it to 20-0. Titus Feaster has 2 through the air, 1 on the ground as we await Tartar's PAT. And this one isn't even close at the moment. Pure dominance here for Pearl River Central. Unbelievable.
It's going to be a 25-yard pitch and catch between little brother Titus Feaster to big brother J.J. Feaster.
And John Jr. there with the little box out, threw up high and kind of went and got it off the backboard like a rebound, shielded that corner off of him, and then it was a foot race. Beautifully done between Titus and John Jr. to get this one to 21-0 as Tartar's done what he's done all year long. He was perfect coming into tonight on PATs. He stays that way. Who would have thought, Rick? I don't even think your most diehard Blue Devil fan would have somewhere believed it'd be 21-0 at this point with 9:25 to go before the Animal Health Clinic halftime show. But that's what it is, all over our Maroon Tide.
Yeah, Maroon Tide has dug themselves quite a hole here tonight. Punted on their first possession, gave up an onside kick, and then had a turnover on down. So really done nothing. You said it. The first down here is what we got to start with.
Good grief. Tartar with an angled, popped-up kick. Fair catch and called for at the 34 by Alds. Grayson Alds calls for a fair catch, makes it. Tide going to start this drive, Rick, at the 34. Looking for its first down with 9:25 to go before our locker room. Tide fan base across the way, much like us, a bit shocked here at the start of this one.
So is my old Excel spreadsheets went to sleep on me a couple times tonight.
Yep, not a whole lot of marks that we're making in a good side over there for the Tide. Here's a pitch to Dennis. Dennis looking for room. He does get it to the 40, but he has pounded there. Been the more physical club tonight. The guys dressed in white and blue. Gonna bring up 2nd and 4. They're bringing it to our Tide. If you came in half-cocked, you may be too late if you're the Tide. 9 minutes to go before the locker room. You've gotten more than a wake-up call, I would imagine, Rick. This is more of that cup of cold water on your head at this point. Here's a fake to the tailback, a give to Jordan Hathorn. Hathorn with some good blocks across midfield to the 46. Two best plays tonight have been a Jordan Hathorn return and now a Jordan Hathorn play from the wing that gets him to the 46 of the Blue Devils. The senior looks to have come to play for the Tide.
Yep, it's going to be a 14-yard pickup for Jordan. Best pickup of the night for this Maroon Tide offense.
Junior James going to be the widest receiver at the bottom of the screen. He's got Jordan Hathorn, who we just talked about, at the slot. Here's a give to Dennis. Come out here, Zay Dennis. Kane, what an individual effort and great tackle. I mean, a really, really good tackle here, Rick. That's Luke Herring, able to get Zay Dennis for a loss. What a good tackle, Rick. That's normally one that Zay's able to slide out of, unable to do so. Been that kind of night for the Tide. If you're watching on the booth cam, go find us on the Talking Ball Y'all YouTube channel. That way you can see the action out on the field. Jackson Harrelson up top providing camera work for us tonight. Ricky Whitaker to my right. I'm Clay Sweet. We appreciate you joining us. 2nd and 9. Here's Jordan Hathorn. We're not blocking, Rick. I mean, our backs are really having a fight, even to get back to the line of scrimmage. And here Going to gain maybe 2, but Jordan got a lot of that after contact. A lot of duress early in these runs for the Picayune Maroon Tide.
Yep, minimal pickup there. Going to spot it in between the 43 and the 42.
7:07 left here before our half. Blue Devils all over the Maroon Tide, 21-0. 3rd and 7. Going to give it to Jordan Hathorn from the wing again. Good dive forward to about the 32-yard line. Should be enough for the first down and will be. Coach Feaster and his staff really upset about something they saw. Not sure what they saw. They wanted a call on something, though, Rick, as the Tide able to move the sticks a couple times this drive. That's a sight for sore eyes.
And the way that the Devils defense is playing, as aggressive as they've been, Mike can go to the air here.
Near hash. 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. Here's another give to Dennis. I'm talking about pounded, Rick. Hit as hard as he's been hit all year. And there goes Mitchell Smith again at about the 18-yard line, finishing a kid up. Half the Blue Devil staff out by the numbers after the block. I don't see a flag, Rick. And maybe that's just a good finishing up at the block. But with that big frame, it certainly didn't make the folks from McNeil and Carrier very happy. It was a gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Ball advanced to the 31.
Yeah, he's had a couple of close calls, and I had one on the sideline here earlier. Got to be careful.
Mitchell and Careful hadn't played well together all year. Here is Cole Robertson off the right side. He's just not a careful player, and that's probably what Vandy likes a lot about him. Big, mean kid is Mitchell Smith, in a lot of ways in the right way as an offensive lineman. Tide starting to cook a little bit here, Rick. Have gotten it to the 21, have strung some first downs together. If you could get it to 21-14 before a half, that would be huge. At this point, we'd even take 21-7 as the Tide have it to the 22 of the Blue Devils.
It's a nice 10-yard pickup by Colt.
Here's the pitch to Dennis. Dennis trying to find room, Rick, and just has not had any room as A. Dennis. Each time he's touched it tonight, seems like there have been 4 or 5 Blue Devils in front of him. Give us a look at Zay Dennis's number so far, Rick.
Zay Dennis, 8 rushes, 17 yards on the night. I got to put his last one in. It was only a pickup of 1, so that'll put him at 18. But that time the Tide go with the power to the weak side, thinking the numbers wouldn't be there, and Devils held up.
We brag on that per number a lot. That's about 2 per. That's not what we need. Here's Dennis off the left side again. Here's a cutback. There you go, Zay. Zay will get in. A 20-yard touchdown run there by Zay Dennis. Good vision as he was able to go pick up the first score for the Tide. Good job there by Dennis. A 20-yard touchdown run. Made a beautiful cut at about the 15. Get the Tide on the scoreboard for the first time tonight. We'll await Edgar Cruz's PAT. He's 39-41 on the year. Good hold by Rayburn on a low snap. The kick is up, and it's good off the foot of Cruz. So signs of life here as the Tide able to crawl back with a touchdown. 21-7, 4:11 to go before the locker room. Is there any way the Tide could cut this one to 21-14 potentially before the break?
Yeah, got to get a stop here, but a sign of hope here for the Maroon Tide. Their best drive of the night on their 3rd possession. They go 65 yards, run 9 plays. They take 5 minutes and 14 seconds off the clock. Stayed with the run, kept it on the ground. As Zay Dennis is able to break one. We've seen him do that a lot. Goes in from 20 yards out to get the Maroon Tide on the board.
Tide with his first score of the night, 21-7. And Rick, are the Tide tempted? I know this sounds crazy, but are the Tide tempted to try to onside kick it? I mean, the Tide have stopped them at the half-yard line, but that's been it. Do you try to steal a possession here if you're Edgar Cruz in this kick game?
Yeah, you got to see. You haven't really stopped the Devils all night defensively, so you got to maybe you take a chance here, roll the dice. We'll
Maybe
see.
so. Maybe you figure what's the difference between 80 yards and 40 yards at this point. See if you can steal one. We'll see what Cruz does. That pink mouthpiece hanging out. He'll boom it instead, and is really listen to the oohs and ahs from the visiting Blue Devils. They know what that looked like. He smoked it. 6 yards deep. As another touchback by Eddie Cruz. He keeps doing that as now over the 27 touchback mark on the year. What a kick by Cruz. And another personnel got driven into the bench for the Blue Devils on special teams, as that's now 27 touchbacks for Eddie Cruz. 80-yard field in front. Blue Devils don't give it away a whole lot, Rick. That's kind of been one of their success pieces this season with a young sophomore quarterback. He's not tended to throw it to the wrong side very often, I believe, with just 4 picks through the year. Tide needs something like that to kind of help. Here's Scott with a good tackle. Got it to Hinton, his tailback. I believe that's only Hinton's second rush of the night, and Scott right where he needed to be. No gain on the play, so a good job there.
Yeah, really nice play by the Maroon Tide defense. And, boy, you go back to that goal line stand the Maroon Tide made. 28-7 is a whole lot worse than 21-7. You can get a stop here. You'll have a chance maybe to get some more points back.
What a point you just made. That's the Tide only stop was at the half-yard line, if you will. Good grief. Here's another fake to Hinton, excuse me, and it's Titus Feaster. A better job there by Cam Quinn. That's the play that Cam Quinn got lost in earlier. Here, a better job one-on-one against Titus Feaster, able to force him out of bounds after only a 4-yard pickup.
Yep, comes in with a stiff arm, but Cam able to hold on and ride him out of bounds. Minimal pickup there. Maroon Tide got a 3rd down. See what the Devils do here. Got a little bit conservative there with the Devils trying to burn some of that clock. Let's see if the Tide can take advantage of that.
3 wide receivers to the top of the screen. Probably a pass here at 3rd and about 6 from the 24 of the Blue Devils. Timeout. That's got to be the final timeout for the Blue Devils. We'll keep it here, Rick. Blue Devils on top, 21-7. 3:24 to go. You're facing a 3rd and 6. Now, if the Tide were to only give up a yard or two, you'd force the first punt of the night. I don't believe Coach Feaster would go for it with the score and where the ball sits. But you're going to only have to give up a couple yards here.
Yeah, I think you would have to punt here, but that was another one of those no-play situations. Titus goes with a hard count, throws that head down. Maroon Tide stays disciplined that time, and the last timeout had to be burned, which is it could be positive for the Maroon Tide as well. Sure that Coach Feaster would have liked to have held on to that one.
Coach Feaster using a lot of this timeout to get to know the White Hat a bit better. Not agreeing with him, and has spent basically this whole timeout conversing with the White Hat. A lot of times when you get this kind of conversation, the Tide staff will want to know, hey, what were y'all getting so friendly about? Like, what was the ask? It has gone longer than the timeout. Everybody set the play. 3rd down. It's easy to say big as a play-by-play guy on a lot of these. This one is. 3:24 before the locker room. 3rd and 6 from the 24. Out of his hands quickly. Caught, no tackle made on the initial contact, and John Jr.'s got a 1st down. Just beat his man out there, Rick. Not the tackle made at the point of attack. John Jr.'s run out of a few of those already tonight, and that was a big one. May allow the Blue Devils to score again, but the one thing it's going to do at this moment is allow that clock keep away from the Tide as he gets it to the 39-yard line.
And that's a statement play for this offense. You got to pick up 6 yards. John Jr. says, look, I'll just go 2 steps and turn around, and I'll get the rest of it myself.
Yeah, physical run after the catch. And here is Hinton walking a far sideline, just getting whatever they want offensively are the Blue Devils.
hitting physical on that sideline, finishing that runoff.
Yeah, they have been the hammer. We have been the nail this whole first half, all at the 45. Second and 30. 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
It's been one of those
yeah, that's what it feels like. Let's see. One wide receiver to the top, two to the bottom of the screen, and we jump again. Wow. No discipline there, and we're going to jump. I believe that's A.K. Barnett who got into the body of an offensive lineman. You're up here talking about the hard count. You saw it on film all week in the huddle machine. It tells you what's going to take place a lot of times on Friday night. If you look into that old bad boy, you'll kind of see some tendencies.
What's not going to show up in the stat sheet is when that lineman fell, Titus Feature was the first one to go pick him up.
And he's going to take a shot down the far sideline. Look at the body control by J.J. Feaster. Went up and got it at the 30-yard line. I'm assuming he catches it in bounds. We're waiting to see. What are they doing here, Rick? Did he not catch it in bounds?
I thought he had a foot down and see where they spot it. Now they're going to spot
cool.
it.
They've got an indication for if it's incomplete, and they never gave us that either. They're going to say it's incomplete. Did you ever see him wave it incomplete? He takes the football after the kids called it and then walks it all the way back to the original line of scrimmage. That's a weird job by the officials. 21-7. Blue Devils on top. It will be ruled incomplete. That was beautiful body control by John Jr. on the catch. Feaster spins it a couple times, and there's the pressure. Sack back at the 40. Good job as Nolan Wilson got there late, but that was Monson who's able to really make the play, Rick. Going to be an 8-yard loss, and finally the Blue Devils off schedule, but Monson able to apply the pressure.
Yeah, that was really caused by the linebacker blitz that Coach Hayden draws up there, and the lineman that's blocking, I think it was Nolan, has to turn to pick the blitzing linebacker up, and they're able to run free. So really good defensive call there by Coach Hayden.
Good job there by Monson getting back to the quarterback. 3rd and 18. Can't afford to give this up. That's the reality of 3rd and 18. Pressure, but a strike across the middle, caught. John Jr.'s got it. Up to the 15. Can't give up a 3rd and 18, and they get it all the way to the 15. An absolute strike, Feaster to Feaster, as Titus able to find John Jr. down to the 15-yard line.
Now what a great throw there. You look back here at the replay play, and he's got Nolan just bearing down on him, steps up, sets his feet, and delivers as you called it, a strike.
Wow. So the Feaster combo hurting the Tide so far tonight. 21-7, 50 seconds. I wanted the ball back in the score to cut in the lead. Blue Devils have other plans. They're trying to pile it on, trying to score again. John Jr. shaking up after the catch. And Titus doesn't have a timeout, I don't think, here. He's signaling for one. I think that's a flag when you try to call for one and you don't have it, but what do I know? And here, the white hat's going to talk to him, but I don't think you can signal for one when you're out of them, Rick. The ball's at the 15. Tide could use this mark off. They could use a penalty to tap the brakes a bit. Leading it 21-7 are the Blue Devils. On the Tide home turf, 30 seconds to go before our Animal Health halftime show. Bolden going to check in. Checking out, that is Zay Jackson. And it will be a penalty flag, although they never threw one, which is interesting in itself.
Yeah, you can see Hinton telling his quarterback, man, we didn't have a timeout there to burn. So,
as well as Titus has played here in the first half, he can tell everybody to live with it, right? Yeah. I mean, he's been unreal. Going to bring it back 5 yards to the 20. And here's great pressure by Nolan Wilson. A sack back to the 32-yard line. 2 flags come out. I didn't see Nolan with a face mask, but that's about all that it could be, Rick. That's going to be super unfortunate if it is a face mask for the Tide, and that's not, Rick. What did they see? We get a look at it here on our Diamond Productions monitor, and you didn't see it, did it?
No, I didn't see it either.
Wow. 2 flags come out. That's not good flags, either one of them. as it was just a high sack, but it was not a face mask. And that's what they are saying, a face mask against the Blue Devils. Excuse me, Rick. I knew it couldn't be against Nolan.
No.
They're actually going to say a face mask on the Blue Devils. So the ball at the 30-yard line.
Yep, video evidence confirmed that.
Yeah. Let's see, did we keep the play? They still got the first down marker. 14 seconds. Look at the clock. They have no timeouts, Rick. It's at 9. 8. Haven't snapped it. 6. Look at the clock, Rick. 4. Get it snapped with 3. Double reverse. And you have space. 30. 25 can really move. 10. Look at this. 5. That'll do it, though. No timeouts. Got it to the 4, but that's it. Kendall Morrison on a double reverse. Scares the Tide to death, but can't score to the 4-yard line. Some extracurriculars. Just go back to the locker room if you're the Tide and regroup. You have nothing to say about this half of football. 21-7 as we are in our Animal Health Clinic halftime show. Blue Devils have jumped all over the Maroon Tide here in the opening half. Tide got work to do. Attitude, X's and O's, all of it, Rick.
Yep, you listen to that crowd, and they are feeling it. The Pearl Central Blue Devil faithful, and boy, just not a great effort from the Tide here in the opening half. Lucky to be down 21-7, to be honest with you, but Picayune gets the ball. Pearl Central gets the ball first. They drive it all the way down. Maroon Tide get a goal line stand. Picayune gets the ball. Their first possession, they're backed up deep. They had to punt it away. Next possession for Pearl Central was a 37-yard touchdown pass from Feaster to Russell. They onside kick it. They recover it. Titus Feaster goes in for a 1-yard touchdown run. And then Zay Dennis goes in from 20 yards out, the only scorer of the night on Maroon Tide's third drive. And then PRC comes back, 25-yard touchdown from Titus Feaster to J.J. Feaster, and that's your score, 21-7 at the half. Can't reiterate this enough. Lucky to be down only 21-7. Got some work to do for the Tide.
And, Rick, when you say that, I just want to say how astute a point that is. And correct me if I'm wrong, Rick, but our stops have come at the 4.5-yard line.
Yep.
Is that our 2 stops tonight?
That's our 2 stops tonight. I mean, I thought they were going to go in there on that double reverse. A good play call. Man, if they ran it a little bit quicker, they probably would have had a time to spike it and maybe run one more play. But Todd fortunate there.
Fortunate in the fact that the Blue Devils had burned the timeouts too, right? Not just the speed of the play calls that came in, but look, Rick. I mean, you stop them at the 4.5-yard line. That is a monster offensive half for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, and I'll just tell you, man. I mean, I'm shocked that not that the Blue Devils wouldn't come out and play well, not that they're not a good football team, but just the Maroon Tide looks shocked as well.
Yeah, Rick, and why wouldn't you be shocked? Tide, a 1 seed, have lost once this season to Ocean Springs. I mean, Blue Devils were fitted into that 4 seed spot. Now a win here, and then you got to start doing math and looking at Matt's stats and Brandon Shields and all those guys to figure it out. You may have that figured out too, Rick.
Yeah, I mean, it's simple from that standpoint. Like, no matter what happens here, Long Beach has to upset Hancock for them to move to the 3 seed.
Okay.
If they win here tonight and Hancock wins, it's still the head-to-head tiebreaker, right?
So we'll say it, a 1 against a 4 seed in your district shouldn't look like this, but it does, as the Blue Devils have jumped all over the Maroon Tide, 21-7, as we've got a 20-minute clock for the half. So that tells me it's a 2-band night. Both the Blue Devils and the Maroon Tide band's gonna perform, and maybe the band will perform a little better than our group in the pads have tonight. It's been a rough half, just to be honest, which we always try to be with our listeners. This is a half the Tide going to want to quickly forget, Rick, and get it turned around. We'll let you and Darren Uzel guide us through our Animal Health Clinic halftime show when we return after this 3-minute timeout.
Making decisions on when and where to further your education is a big step in life. So let Pearl River Community College be the destination for you. Pearl River offers the first 2 years of any major and over 42 career and technical programs. They have 3 locations to better serve your educational needs. The Hancock Center at 454 Highway 90 Suite D in Waveland. The Forest County Center at 5448 Highway 49 South in Hattiesburg. And the main campus located at 101 Highway 11 North in Poplarville. Pearl River Community College. Roll, River, roll. Exotic Stone specializes in a variety of natural and manufactured stone and has proudly provided exceptional service, quality work, and low prices to the residents of Pearl River County and beyond for the past 17 years. They have 2 locations, 6895 Highway 11 in Carriere or 1171 Highway 90 in Bay St. Louis. Exotic Stones is ready to support all your commercial and residential projects. Give Angela Burmaster a call at 504-606-3170 or stop by one of their convenient locations to view their selection or to request a quote, and you'll be happy that you made Exotic Stones your choice. Pit Lane Oil Change, located at 401 Highway 11 in Picayune, is a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the area for 15 years in the same location. They are a full-service oil change shop, servicing cars, trucks, and even servicing diesel trucks. Pit Lane is a Carfax top-rated service center. They offer new oil filter, air filter inspection, wiper blade inspection, power steering fluid top-off, check transmission fluid, coolant antifreeze top-off, and so much more. Their new hours are Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and closed on Saturdays. Stop by Pit Lane Oil Change today and let them be your personal pit crew.
Healthy pets, happy people, exceptional medicine, compassionate care. That's our motto at the Animal Health Clinic in Picayune. Located at 500 Kelly Road, we are equipped with the latest veterinary technology and provide a full menu of animal health services, including after-hours emergencies. Dr. Alan Smith invites you to join our clinic family by checking out our website at ahcpicayune.com or calling us at 601-799-1300.
Welcome into the Animal Health Clinic Picayune Memorial Football halftime show here. Devils all over the Tide here, 21-7. Darren Uzo going to join me up in the booth for our Animal Health Clinic halftime show. Darren, been down on the sideline, assuming that you saw what we've saw, just a little bit of a closer vantage point.
Yeah, I've seen a dominant Blue Devil offense and a stingy Blue Devil defense is what we've seen tonight, and they have come out to play tonight. PRC has, and they have skill positions. They're skill positions. They're good. They're good, Rick, and they're fast. They're twitchy. The quarterbacks played well tonight. The running backs, receivers, the offensive line for PRC. They're undersized, but their zone blocking it looks good tonight as well. So, I mean, toward the end there, we did see Nolan come in with some penetration. Our defense come in and get some big plays there, Rick. But a lot to be desired in that first half. But we've seen this before, haven't we? We've been here before, 21-7, and turned it around in the second half and took the game. But this is going to be a fight. This is going to be a fight. And if you listen to Feaster and some of his podcasts, he's always, trying to telling the audience that PRC needs to learn how to finish. Tonight, I hope they don't know how to finish. I mean, if you're a Maroon Tide fan.
No,
right?
I think that's
so.
That's a good point.
We'll see if Carriere can finish tonight, and we'll also see if Picayune will stand up in the second half and turn the tide. The tide's not in our favor right now, but I do have full confidence that they'll come out in the second half and play some good ball.
The two biggest plays of the night for the Maroon Tide by far, the goal line stand,
Yep.
and this last play here to end the half. Without that, you're looking at maybe a 35-7 ball game, and you're in big-time trouble. But to your point, 21-7, if the Devils lay off at all,
yes,
the Maroon Tide can come back. We've seen them do that. Can they come out and finish with the same intensity? I'm going to tell you, I've been watching a lot of film study on Titus Feaster. Very, very impressed with him. Wondered if he would come out here and get big eyes.
Yep.
He has settled into the moment. Been very, very poised. He hasn't rushed anything. I mean, he stepped up the long slant route he delivers to his brother here.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got Nolan bearing down on him and steps into him to take the hit to make sure he had his feet set. That's really, really good poise there from a sophomore quarterback.
Absolutely.
He has grown. That's not the same kid we saw last year.
I know it's not.
He has progressed this year. Been very, very impressive. But yeah, we got a lot of time here. Just under getting ready to be at the 11-minute mark for the half. Any other thoughts, Darren? You think about the second half and
you know what I saw in the first half is them Blue Devils kept the ball. You know, at the time of possession, what do we got, Rick? I mean, we don't have we as a Maroon Tide, we don't have much, do we?
No, we had it. We had a 5-minute and 14-second drive, that third drive. But other than that,
not much.
We ran 3 plays and punted. We gave up the onside kick and then had a turnover on downs down here. So we've had the time possession has greatly favored them, and that was one of the things I had as a key to the game. If the Devils came out and had too many 3-and-outs, they would be in trouble. But that's not been the case. It's been the other way around. They've used those. They've taken what the Tide defense has given them. If you're playing off in coverage, you've got a quick pass, and to me, that's a slap in the face of my defense to say, if it's 3rd and 6, I'll run a 2-yard hitch and I'll go get the rest of it.
That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. But you do will come up and press, but you also got to realize they have some. Their receivers are tall and fast.
Yeah, and the play down here with that Corday made.
Yeah.
I mean, Corday just went up and got it. He just wanted it more. So we're in good coverage. He does that. He comes in, has a big stop on defense, and then he was the one that also recovered the onside kick. So a lot of athletes here, but hey, hang around, folks. 21-7.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
And I think we're in for a barn burner here in the second half. We've seen the Tide do that. Would like to see them maybe not spot River Central 14, but they can certainly do it. So
absolutely.
Yeah, and both teams with a lot to play for next week will be starting playoffs there. So
and another thing, Rick, I know we're about to go to commercial, but we also want to keep our players healthy in the second half and not do nothing silly.
Yeah, we need all of them
next week.
We need all of them next week.
We're gonna need all hands on deck next week.
Yep, we're gonna take our first commercial break here at our Animal Health Clinic halftime show. We always appreciate Dr. Alan Smith for helping us out. He's over there next door in the booth tonight. So he's close tonight. So Dr. Alan Smith and his crew, we appreciate them. We're gonna take a timeout. We'll be right back. Darren's gonna have some scores for us from around the district. We'll probably have a good idea of how these playoff seasons are gonna shake off. We'll be back in just 1 minute.
Hello, football fans. Devin Smith here, the broker and owner of the Smith Group Realty in Picayune, Mississippi. It's fall down south, and that can only mean one thing. It's football season. Our area schools have worked so hard to give us all something to cheer for and be excited about. I take great pride in my football roots in Pearl River County, and I am honored to serve our people. I look forward to helping residents old and new make Pearl River County their home. I would love to help you with any and all of your real estate needs. You can contact me at our local office at 769-242-0400 or on my personal cell at 601-347-2641. Or you can find me in the stands watching my favorite players under those Friday night lights.
Need a building or roof? Metal Building Supply specializes in pre-engineered metal buildings and components, and they even install metal roofing. They offer an array of styles, options, and sizes. Metal Building Supply will make it custom so you can make it your own. They are located at 3521 Highway 43 North in Picayune. You can look them up on Facebook at Metal Building Supply LLC or give them a call at 769-242-2641. 2630. Let Sean Glasscock and staff build you your dream building.
All right, folks, we're back here. Purvis Central leads this contest here at the half at Lee Triplett Stadium by a score of 21-7. Me and Darren Uzel are bringing you into this Animal Health Clinic halftime show. He's going to look around the district, maybe some potential seating options here. Let's start with our side, Darren, and what's going on in the 6A race.
Hey, Rick, we're just going to stay just like it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, Picayune, Pascagoula 2, Hancock 3, PRC 4, because I don't see Long Beach beating them Hancock Hawks. It's 20-7 right now. Hancock leading Long Beach 20-7. We've got, man, I'll tell you what, the Pascagoula Panthers is 35-3, second quarter. They're hitting on all cylinders, Rick.
They are.
And then, of course, we're at 21-7. And, it being a Thursday night, we don't have a whole lot. Poplarville's there in playoffs tomorrow night. Ocean Springs 42-7 over St. Martin. Gulfport Admirals 38-7 over Harrison Central. D'Iberville 14-0 over Biloxi. But other than that, Rick, that's the scores we have here in the county and on the coast. But the seeding looks as if it will stay the same tonight unless the PRC comes out with a win, but they have to have a lot of help from Long Beach, and Long Beach they don't seem to have it tonight.
Yeah, some interesting things happening. You mentioned some of the 7A scores. You got 3 teams vying for those last 2 spots. St. Martin looks to be out now of contention, but D'Iberville and Biloxi going to be vying for that 3 and 4 spot. What about George County and Forest Hill? That was the other game that we were thinking was going to be a shoe-in for the 4 seed. We got a score there?
No, I have no score there, Rick. We'll try to find it somewhere. Maybe one of our Talking Ball y'all guys can send it to us, but I don't have a score for that one.
And on the other side of 6, on our side, Region 3, looks like Hattiesburg. Now, Hattiesburg's got Terry. So if Terry wins, you could have potentially 3 teams at 4-1. West Jones is going to have Jim Hill. We're expecting them to be 4-1. Points get involved there, right?
Yep.
So that could be interesting. But what we would anticipate was Hattiesburg to be the 1, West Jones to be the 2, Terry to be the 3, and George County to be the 4. So even if George County was to lose to Forest Hill, whose only win was over Jim Hill, and George County beat Jim Hill 35-0. They're probably going to be in the 4 spot there. They think they'd have to lose by 9 points for Forest Hill to take that spot. So we're expecting to see George County next week. Purvis Central, we're thinking is going to go on the road to Hattiesburg, and then Hancock and Terry is going to be that game 1 for them. So should we survive next week, then we would have the winner of Terry and Hancock at home.
Of Terry and Hancock at home.
That's the way that they got the brackets drawn out. Yeah, I confirmed that with Coach Stogner pregame, and he said, yeah, that's how we looked at it. When we're used to seeing Pascagoula in round 2.
Yeah, I'll take the Terry and Hancock.
Pascagoula
I don't want to see
maybe have on the road to Hattiesburg.
That
in round 2 could be
that's going to be
interesting.
That's going to be a game.
Yeah. Got to take care of business here in the second half, though, up 21-7.
Oh, absolutely. 24 minutes.
Yep. Maroon Tide band taking the field tonight.
I've missed you, Rick. I ain't been here last 2 weeks.
You've been here in a couple of weeks. We've been keeping up with it, though. So let's see how you did last week.
My goodness. Here we go.
So came in 5-5 last week. You came in you had the 4 seed locked up.
So I'm 50-50.
Yeah, so you're going to finish 8-7, which isn't bad. So here's what I was impressed. The SMU upset.
You like that?
That was a good one. You hit on that one. You hit on Oklahoma, and you hit on Utah. Nebraska couldn't get it done against USC. I would have took that, too.
You know, Raiola, he got hurt and messed us all up, but we probably could have.
For 6A, you maybe do 7A if you want to do that.
No, that's what I'm talking about, Rick.
We're going to let you pick some brackets. So once we get the playoff stuff lined up, you'll bring in your bracket, and we'll start doing some high school football stuff. You like that?
Oh, that's gonna be good. So, oh man, that's gonna be interesting.
Yep. So you will get to create a bracket. I think it's gonna be fun.
So I'm gonna get to fill it. It's like March Madness.
Yeah, just fill it in.
Fill it in.
Fill it in. Fill in who you like, and we'll take it as far as we can go with it. But Devils coming back out here to a rousing crowd, and who could blame them?
I mean,
up 21-7.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since they've been up 21-7 at halftime against Picayune.
Yeah.
What, 10 years? I mean, so you got to give it to the coaching staff, these ball players that they're playing hard. You've seen a lot of improvement in the last couple years, and so they're going to be a handful in the second half as they were in the first, Rick. So I don't have anything to pick today. I don't have anything. I mean, the time I do go study a little bit, I don't have.
Give us a couple. Give us a couple of things.
Can I give you my upset?
Give us a couple.
I mean, it's the time I do stuff. Huh? Yeah. The day I don't study, he gonna come here and not give me nothing.
My play-by-play guy, he got a chuckle out of that.
Hey, no. My upset of the week.
Yeah.
Them Bulldogs, Mississippi State tomorrow.
Georgia?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
11 o'clock.
All right.
Huh?
What else? You got any other ones that you've been looking at? Looks good.
Well, we know Alabama's going to walk over LSU. I mean, that's part of
maybe so.
I think that's going to happen. But I don't know, Rick. It's going to be a good game Saturday. We should be 8-1, them Dogs, or 7-1, and could be 8-1 this weekend. A lot of close games. It's been heartbreakers this year, but
yep, should have been. So Darren Hughes is going to be picking. He's going to be doing some high school playoff brackets next week. So came in here prepared. I mean,
can I do like a homer bracket?
Yeah,
and do like another bracket.
Just pick them. Just pick them outright.
I mean, it'd be kind of bad if I didn't put Picayune all the way
we
through.
think you'd be picked. Yeah, that's
but
how.
I mean, you know,
you just pick them how you feel that you need to pick them. So
good.
I'll give some stats too as we get ready to close out here in the second half, or get ready for the second half. Maroon Tide on the night, 14 rushes, 76 yards, and a touchdown. Zay Dennis, 10 rushes, 38 yards, 3.8 yards per carry. Maroon Tide as a unit, 5.4 on the night. So got some work to do here, but hang around, folks. We've seen crazier things from this Tide bunch. Game is certainly not out of hand for them. So we appreciate Darren Uzel stopping in. Appreciate Dr. Allen Smith. He'll be back in his booth here in a little bit. Try to get the offensive line going for the Tide. But 21-7, we got a couple minutes left here. We'll take one more extended timeout. When we return, back on the call to describe all the action for you in the second half will be Mr. Clay Sweet. We appreciate you taking us in. Appreciate those that are taking us in on the live stream. You're listening to Picayune Football, brought to you by the Talking Ball Y'all Media Group.
Roll Tide.
The days of hiding your money in a mattress or burying it in the backyard are long gone. Our friends at Bank Plus can help you save for a rainy day. Hurry in and let their friendly staff help you with all your banking needs. Stop by any of their locations today at 115 Williams Avenue and 951 Memorial Boulevard in Picayune, or 105 North Main Street in Poplarville. Bank Plus is more than a name, it's a promise. Need a plumber? Let Harold's Plumbing help you with that. Whether it's new construction or just a plumbing repair, Harold can make it happen. Harold's Plumbing is licensed and can do both residential and commercial jobs. Give Harold's Plumbing a call at 601-273-0598 and let him handle all your plumbing and septic tank services. Protecting your personal belongings is a basic human instinct. You've worked hard for what you have. At Executive Storage, we are dedicated to providing you true, secure storage options and peace of mind. With 2 convenient locations to choose from, you can trust us to protect your personal, family, and business assets. Give us a call today at 601-798-4000 and let us help you protect your most prized possessions.
Hi, this is Sandy Kane Smith. I'm running to serve as your next Pearl River County Tax Assessor Collector. I've been responsible for managing over 100 employees, multi-million-dollar budget, and audits across all areas of county government. I will make sure you will get a fair assessment, fully staffed office, and bring back hometown customer service. Thank you for allowing me to serve the last 16 years as your Board of Supervisor. I truly appreciate your confidence and support, but on November the 4th, I need your help. Your vote makes the difference. This is Sandy Kane Smith, and I will see you at the polls.
Paid for by Sandy Kane Smith for Tax Assessor Collector.
Back here at Lee Triplett Stadium, Pearl River Central on top of the Picayune Maroon Tide, 21-7, as we get ready to get the second half underway. Tide, good news, set to receive it to start. See what the Tide can do with this opening possession. Try to cut this lead in half. As 21-7 the spread currently for the Blue Devils. Tarter's got it teed up back at his 40-yard line. If you remember right, Jordan Hathorn had a pretty good return on one of these kicks earlier. Alt had a fair catch call for it. Onside kick to start it, Rick. Tide, let's see if got on it and did, but it wasn't by a long shot. That was A.K. Burnett able to get it. Good job by the big man, A.K. Burnett. He's a guard for the Tide, but that's who's able to recover it. So 21-7, what do you look for here? Signs of improvement. Rick coming out of the locker room on his first drive.
Got to get points here. I mean, there's no way around it. You got to score here.
Let's see what the Tide can do. Going to start it with good field position after the Blue Devils trying to steal an additional possession. Have the Tide put it in the air yet, Rick?
No. It'd be a good time to do it right here.
Tide yet to throw a forward pass. Going to toss it back to Zay Dennis. Kind of more of the same as Zay just going to get two. And it's not Zay's fault. They're actually going to give him better than that, Rick. They're going to give him 3. But, boy, his per number. This is a kid that went, back-to-back 300 yards and then dropped down to a pedestrian 260 or 70 last week. He's got his work to do to really get anywhere close to those numbers. Just no room to work with. Will be 2nd and 7 from the 49 now. Here's the pass. He's got a guy open in the flats. That's Jordan Hathorn. Caught 35-30. Loosening up a little bit. Has the Tide with a pass and going to get it inside the 29. A really good job of Jordan. Rick, the ball was leading him to maybe break that out, but Jordan, a heady senior receiver of the football, broke it right back in after the catch, and that's going to buy him up to the 29 of the Blue Devils. So Tide with a good start here to the second half.
Yep, be a 20-yard pickup there for Mr. Hawthorne.
Colts' first throw of the night, a completion. And here's Zay Dennis. A good run. He's loose, 15-10. Look at this response for the Tide right away. 10:40 left in the third quarter. Tide cut the lead in half. The completion changed the complexion of the box, and that allowed Zay Dennis to operate a 29-yard touchdown run for Mr. Dennis.
Yep, just what the Maroon Tide needed, and I think they needed to come out and score quick there. Made some adjustments at the half here, and an extra point away from being a one-score ball game.
Right back in it. Bad snap. Rayburn reaches back across his body, grabs it, places it in front of Cruz, and Cruz knocks it home. Tremendous job there by Rayburn. Kind of went with one of those sideward twists there to grab the snap, Rick, but did so, got it back in front of Cruz to get it to that 21-14 mark. What a big, big drive that was. Tell us about it, Rick, on your Diamond Production drive summary.
Yeah, Maroon Tide only needed to run 3 plays to go 52 yards, and they do just that. It's set up by a nice pitch and catch for 20 yards from Colt Robertson to Jordan Hawthorne, and then Zay Dennis doing Zay Dennis things. We need to see more of that. Breaks one for 29 yards, his second on the night.
That was a big completion. Loosen it up a little bit. Give Dennis a look at one less helmet or two. Let's see what Cruz chooses to do. It's already, boom, 2 touchbacks. He's got 27 of those now on the year. Boy, that was, you called for a quick score. Got it in 1:20, Rick. Right back in it. As bad as the Tide have played, only trail it by 7.
Yeah, it's a great statement there, because you look at the game as we've seen it, you think it'd be a whole lot worse than that, but Tide's still in it.
Cruz is driven, Hinton all the way back to the 4. He's caught it. Look at this. Good driving return up to, let's see where they're going to mark him. Where did he actually get out of bounds? Well, they're going to have Hinton up near the 30-yard line, maybe beyond that.
Well, he's
That's
walking
a
that
profitable
sideline, and
spot.
if he could have kept his balance, he would still be running.
Yeah, weren't a whole lot of Tidesmen left. They're going to spot him at the 32, so that's where Hinton was forced out of bounds. He is an athletic young man, a motocross kid. My barber, Jacob Guthrie, gave me that information. Actually watched a little video. That was an athletic, fearless sophomore back there at the tailback position off the left hip of Titus. Sophomores at the tailback and at the quarterback. Here's the option look, and have gotten it to the speedy Kendall Morrison. Morrison to the 36, nope, 37. So a first down play that is good. 7-yard pickup, bring up 2nd and 3, and that's where you want to operate if you're Coach Kubicki.
Yeah, and it's really, I mean, it's not played bad by the Maroon Tide. That's more of just Morrison and his speed, but pretty good play there for the Maroon Tide defense. You hate to give up 7.
No, if you can be 2nd and 3, Rick, you can live there as an offense. Pistol formation, a fake, nobody there. Kind of a busted play. There's a flag that comes out as well, but Titus maybe, or Hinton, not reading from the same music as he went to fake it. Nobody on that left side, but Titus didn't panic, got what he could out of it. Good job defensively. See what this flag is. It's going to go against the Blue Devils. So as bad as things went in the first half, Rick, second half looking a bit different.
Yep.
Tide have scored early, have now a 2nd and 9 after I just bragged about the Blue Devils being in a good second and really short. Have backed that up by moving early. 3 wide receivers to the bottom of the screen. You got Dubuisson off the left hip of Titus Feaster. Now he'll bring Morrison in the backfield with him. Nolan Wilson's got Titus back at the 32-yard line. That's what you want to see after the man dressed in the 74 jersey for the maroon and gray. He's got to be a game wrecker, Rick. We've seen flashes of it. Needed on a consistent basis there with a really good play.
Yeah, got to have more of that. The penalty certainly helped, and now Purvis Central facing really maybe their first 3rd and long of the night.
Yeah, and let's see if they can force the sophomore into a mistake. He's really not a mistake-prone guy, and sometimes you'll see that from a sophomore that played a whole lot his freshman year, kind of worked some of those out in that freshman campaign. Ty going to let the play clock go down to 1 and then burn a timeout. We saw the Blue Devils use a bunch of their timeouts early in the ball game. They've started that trend here in the second half as well, and it really helped the Tide. Didn't have one to stop it, let the clock run out down at the Tide 3 or 4 yard line to end the half. Burn their first offensive timeout here with 8:52 to go.
I think this is a good timeout here. Get your defense corralled, talk to them, make sure you got the right call here because, look, Purvis Central has dominated the time of possession here in the first half, and that's something we typically don't see, not from an offense like this, but they've been able to do it.
Yeah, and you mentioned a timeout. Tide don't have to burn it. It's going to be the Blue Devils that get to burn it. So you get to regroup at the other team's expense with that offensive timeout. See if Quinn, who had a big pick a week ago, can get involved. Zay Richardson, Fortenberry, Jamari Hathorn, that defensive secondary for the Tide. Quinn trying to find where he's supposed to be defensively. He's now set up. Titus going to take a shot down the far side, dropped at the 45. Tide needed a break and got one. That's 2 balls tonight that Russell had put on him that he's been unable to squeeze. And this will maybe see the punt unit here, Rick. Yep, for the first time tonight, we're going to see the Blue Devils have to punt it away. So whatever Coach Stogner and his group had to say at the half, it certainly took tonight. Have been a different club in these first 4 minutes in the third quarter.
They have, and caught a break there because that's a first down grab. Moves the sticks and keeps the clock running if Russell can corral it. But he
high snap. He's had to drip back to the 15 to catch it and then has smoked the punt. What an athletic play by Corday Russell. Most punters, Rick, that's over his head and maybe a touchdown for the Tide. Corday Russell goes up the ladder, catches a really high snap, and not only that, he's able to really punch it down there. So a great job from Corday Russell. He hurt him with the drop, but then look at this catch on the snap to be able to get it, really drop back, play that one well, and then flip the field. It's got the Tide set up at the 31, but a good job by the Tide defensively.
Yep, Tide get another stand here and see if they can drive and tie this thing up.
Tide, first real stop when you look at it, had a goal line stand at the half-yard line, and then the Blue Devils ran out of time at the 4. But here was a good old-fashioned 3-and-out punt situation. Cole Robertson looking to throw. He's got a guy wide open. Fortenberry catches it at the 25. He'll be eventually run out of bounds at the 22-yard line. Great job on the Tide being willing to throw the football and have been successful 2 for 2 here in the second half and have it open up with a 47-yard pass to start this drive. Colt Robertson to Adarius Fortenberry. Big play.
That's a huge play, and Maroon Tide needed that.
Tide rolling out of the locker room. Got a response to start the half, looking for the second and to get this score to even. Here's a pitch to Dennis. Dennis at the 20 makes a cut, gets him to about the 17-yard line. Going to be a 5-yard pickup for Zay Dennis. We're at the 8-minute mark here and what's turning out to be a doozy. The Tide have come out with life in the second half behind the arm of Colt Robertson. 2 big completions to get this offense rolling a bit.
Yeah, you're starting to see more of those 4- and 5-yard runs that were no gains or negative yards from Zay Dennis.
Change the helmet count when you put it in the air a bit. Colin Igana offset from Jordan Hathorn. Here's the toss to Jordan Hathorn. Letting the blocks develop a bit in front of him. Not a whole lot there to the 15. Just a couple yard pickup. Flying up to make that play. That was Anthony Carpenter. He got help there by Easton Smith. Buddy of mine's youngin' there, and yours, Jake Smith, Easton Smith, coming up and making a play. We appreciate Jake Smith's support of our broadcast through the years. Ball tucked inside the 15, Rick. 3rd and about 3.5 for the Tide. You've got Igana at the fullback position. Dennis behind him. Dennis trying to cut it back, and he will be gobbled up and stopped. I love Zay Dennis's vision, but I'm not sure exactly what he saw there, Rick. And Miles Alford makes him pay for the cutback back to the 17-yard line and a 3-yard loss on the play.
He has a really good open field tackle by Alford. Just stayed at home, didn't get up the field, didn't allow the cutback lane from Zay Dennis.
And Dennis had Colin Igana and everybody else going out to the left. He had no help back to his right. Big 4th down here. 4th and 6 for the Tide. Colt Robertson looking to throw a pass out in the flats, incomplete. I say flats, a crossing route to the tight end, Ontario Wilkins, and he just didn't catch it. Incomplete, and the Blue Devils got the stop they were looking for. So a good response, bend but do not break there from the Blue Devils' perspective after giving up a long pass during the opening of that drive. Really did a good job of forcing the Tide over on downs to try to buy back some of the momentum with this 21-14 lead.
Yep, going to give some of that momentum back to the Devils, feeling pretty good about getting a stop, and really a big stop for them.
You look back at Alford's tackle, that was huge. Ball now at the 16. That's where Pearl River Central will take over after the turnover on downs. Titus Feaster going to whip it out, and it is called at the 15. Good game tackling here, though, Rick. For the first time tonight after one of those quick passes, you look up and 4 maroon jerseys had surrounded Morrison, and one of them showed up in an awfully bad mood and whacked Kendall down after a yard gain. Let's see who got there with a big hit at the end of it. A good job there by Kendall Morris, just holding on to the football.
I believe that was Bolden that got there.
Javian Bolden coming from the line. That is correct. 2nd and 9. Here's a give to Hinton. Hinton trying to make the sideline and can't. Good edge set. That was Amari Scott and Brody Kirkland sharing the tackle. And, Rick, that's a good job, a good leverage play by a backer there not to allow that sideline to be walked.
Yeah, that's 2 guys. We want to call their names more.
Yes, we do. So 3rd and 9. Both defenses showed up to the party here in this 3rd quarter.
Yes, they have.
Titus Feaster in the shotgun. He's got it. He's under all kinds of pressure. Drop back at the 6. Guess who? The Bama commit, Nolan Wilson, went back and got Titus at the 6. Will be 4th and long there. Should face a punt situation. There's a timeout on the field, Rick. Not sure what we're sorting through here, but you have the white hat surrounded by his crew. I don't see a flag come out. If it's a timeout by the Blue Devils, that's almost unbelievable to burn 2 so quickly here coming out of the locker room. But I just heard legendary PA announcer across the way, Jerry Grump, said timeout by the Blue Devils, Rick. That's 2 timeouts in less than 8 minutes out of the locker room. See if that plays a part down the stretch.
Yep, you see in the coach's duel that you called for, Cody Steiner taking his turn to give his earful to the white hat, or maybe say, hey, what are they talking about on the other side? I certainly didn't see anything malicious there.
2 timeouts burned early, Rick. Let's try to keep track of those timeouts as we saw it calls play a real factor right to close out the half. You had PRC get down to the 3 or 4 Picayune, but didn't have a timeout to kill it. Had to let it just expire. 21-14, 3rd and almost 10 here. 3rd and 9.5 for the Blue Devils. Titus trying to leak out to his right. There's a flag that comes in. Titus not going to have enough on the scramble, I do not believe, depending on the spot. They'll spot him at the 21.
That's thrown in the direction of holding. We'll see.
It really is. You had Igana who was about to get in pursuit of Titus, and then you kind of saw him wiped away from the play. As we'll see, that is a holding call. The Tide can choose to decline it as it was short. As it was 4th and 6, Tide will do just that. They'll say, nope, we don't want them to do 3rd down over. We'll say 4th and 6 and bring the punt unit on. So Blue Devils went the whole first half without seeing the punt unit, have had to punt it twice. Good job by Seth Hayden, Tyler Smith, and that whole defensive staff. And this is a good punt by Russell across midfield. Cordays hit a good one. Look at this thing trickle all the way to the 26-yard line before it's out of bounds. You've got a shaken up Tidesman laying at about the 13-yard line. Is that Nolan Wilson?
That's Nolan Wilson stretched out to try to block the punt. And I don't know if he landed awkwardly, but he's not gotten up yet.
Yep, he's back well behind the play where the punt took place at about the 12-yard line. The punt by Russell was tremendous. To know what Russell gives you, Rick, at the wide receiver spot for this group, and then to see him punt, he's a remarkable athlete. We saw him play quarterback a bunch early in his career, and I mean, when a ninth grader, he wasn't bad at that position either.
No, he's athletic, and a lot of class here from this Pearl River Central side. They quietened up the band, and cheerleaders took a knee as they tended to Nolan Wilson. Love to see that gamesmanship.
Yeah. Another thing you love to see is Nolan leave on his own power, Rick.
Yeah.
As he's up walking over. A good astute point made by you. Tip of the hat. One big community here.
Took a couple of skips there. That'd make me feel a little better.
Yeah, that's right. Colt Robertson, who's 2 for 2 here, 2 for 3, excuse me, on the night, has made his way to the huddle. Tide going to take over on their 27-yard line. See if the Tide can get it to even here. Rick trailing by a touchdown. Runs through a arm tackle and goes ahead to the 27. There's that penalty. Knew it was coming. You keep peppering them late, eventually you'll get called. And here's going to be a dumb one for the Tide. Just so aggravating kind of to watch, Rick, when you're already behind the 8 ball. You're already down 21-14. You get a little momentum going, and this is going to be a penalty, I'm almost positive, against the Maroon Tide. Just senseless. 5 yards after the fact, and it's going to back the Tide up. Put them behind schedule.
Yeah, and I mean, trying to win this ball game, and look, the coaching staff has made these referees aware of that, and going to have a pretty short fuse on those flags coming out.
Yeah, and if you don't call that one, you don't get to work the playoffs almost. That was a pretty blatant one there. As
and back them up to the 18.
Yep. Going to bring up now 2nd and 20 for the Tide. Not a spot any offense wants to operate, especially down 21-14 with 3:30 left. Colt Robertson looking to throw over the head of the intended wide receiver to Zay Dennis. And that's probably a good thing, really, Rick, because he was in such good coverage by Corday Russell. A better thrown football by Colt Robertson's probably going to involve Russell, the defender. He was really been in the film room and was on the hip on kind of that wheel route. What do you call it? There's a Picayune term from it other than the wheel route, something and up.
It's past 50 and
there
up.
We go.
And ever since the long pass and catch from Robertson to Fortenberry, Corday Russell snuck himself back out there.
Yep, he is some kind of good for them. That senior heavy defense. They're young on offense, but that defense is led by seniors. Here's Zay Dennis on 3rd and 20, trying to run the power, and absolutely defeated at the point of attack was our Tide there. And any momentum the Tide had gotten with good play out of the locker room, they've given fully back, as that was a great play by John Jr. Wow, what a tackle. As JJ, they call him. What a good play by him.
Going to be a pickup of 3 on the play, but not nearly enough as the penalty yardage is going to bring the punter out.
Yep, made it about yourself, and you force yourself into a long punt. This is a boomer by Nolan Wilson. Look how he's hit this thing. It's all the way from the 35 on the bounce. Where will it continue to roll? All the way to the 10-yard line goes the punt by Nolan Wilson. Got word this week he'd be back in that punter role, and what a difference that makes, Rick, to get it down to 11. You talk about flipping field position.
That was huge.
What a job as Nolan caught the snap back at his 10, and look where this thing's being walked off and spotted down at the 11-yard line. So a big job there. It was great news to even see him back there. That means he's well to participate, and then the punt.
And boy, Morrison couldn't believe it. He was just kind of looking as it went over his head. But good news is Maroon Tide defense has not given up any points here. We're almost through the 3rd quarter, but bad news is you're still down a score.
You know, you look at it, Rick, the defenses have kind of come to play. We've seen the punters from both squads more here in this second half. See if the Tide can continue that trend with good defensive play. They got started earlier. I thought the Blue Devils did. And good pressure going to fall incomplete. That's one of the few times where Titus has kind of leaked to his right or the left that he's been met. That was either Ald or Scott that got over into his hip right when he tried to throw that football.
Yeah, it rolls off that time, and just really good coverage by the Maroon Tide. Maroon Tide have made some good adjustments, primarily in the secondary. Linebacker play's been good here. See what Kabicki draws up to try to combat that.
Yep, that was Ald who got in on the thigh of Feaster. Kind of tough on Coach Hayden and his group in the first half. You're right. They X and O's and got some stuff figured out in the locker room. Titus trying to go far side, and it's almost picked off. It is. Alt has it in his lap after a deflection. I said almost. It was tipped. Hung what felt like a long, long time. And then you look out, and 7 for the Tide had it. As Alt's able to secure it on that far sideline. Just the 5th pick on the year for Titus Feaster. It was deflected, and then Alt had it land in his lap. That was a great job by Fortenberry. He was almost aggravated with himself that he didn't pick it off, but he deflected it to his teammate. Let's see how this turnover changes the game. 1st and goal from the Tide, for the Tide from the Blue Devils 7. 1st and goal from the 7. McKinley at the fullback. Dennis at the tailback. It's a give to Dennis. Dennis gonna dive forward. We're a PAT away from being even. The Blue Devils led it 21-0 early. The Tide have fought back on their home turf here at Lee Triplett. A PAT away from having it 21-21.
Maroon Tide come out and go quick there, Clay. And I tell you, man, the difference in the second half, drop balls. Titus Feaster threw that one, went right through the hands of Morrison.
Here's the kick from Steady Eddie. He's got it. 21-21, 2:13 left in the third quarter. What a job. Look at the special teams for the Tide. They can't wait to kick it off. They're already huddled and ready. They have been excited to be out here in the third quarter. Totally different body language, enthusiasm level. Tip of the cap to the Tide staff at the half and to the young men for responding.
Yeah, only took one play there, Clay, and Zay Dennis goes in for his 3rd touchdown of the night. Maroon Tide now tied up 21-21. Zay's got all 3 of them, 16 for 83 on the night, but way below what we've seen Zay Dennis, his numbers be, but got his Tide back in a tie ball game.
What does he have on the night, Rick?
16 for 83, 3 touchdowns, 5.2 yards per carry. So a very pedestrian night for Zay, but doing enough here. And
he's done enough to get him over that 2,000-yard mark. We can refer to him as 2K Zay. Here's a pop-up down the middle. Can they squeeze it? Have on the run at the 21. Trying to make a return of it. That's Russell. He'll get up to the 35, Will Corday.
Well, and Russell dangerous with the ball in his hand. Good coverage there by Maroon Tide special teams.
So much speed from those skill guys for Coach Feaster. A bunch of speed. They remind you a bit of Pascagoula's set. When they get out wide, some guys who can really run. 2:05 left, Rick, in this third quarter, and we're all even.
Yeah, Maroon Tides came back, and 2 punts and an interception by Grayson Alds is all the Devil offense has been able to put up tonight. But again, I mean, it's been some drop balls. You go back to the series before where Russell has one go through his hands. Feaster's still been throwing the ball well. They're just not corralling them.
Let's see what this drive has in store defensively for the Tide. Tide is going to call his own number. Mitchell Smith going to gobble him up and stop him. A yard into the run, big Mitchell Smith made an impact. So 2nd and 9. Tide is trying to just go off that right side. And that's tough sledding when you have Mitchell Smith, a 4-star Vandy commit. You've got Nolan Wilson, a 4-star Alabama commit.
Yep, and they'll give him a couple. I thought he got a good spot there.
I would say so. Probably a yard and a half further than what he ever achieved, Rick, to the 35. Man in motion from right to left. Give it back, and look at this tackle. Wow. Brody Kirkland, okay. I see you. Nice stop there, young man. Wow.
Brody Kirkland's played a great game tonight, especially in the second half.
That was big, Rick, from the senior. Behind the sticks. Wiped away 3. And makes a 3rd and 11. Maybe the best tackle there from Brody Kirkland all season long. That was a beauty. And look at this Tide defense. Do you recognize them, Rick, from the first half?
Totally different from the second half.
Wow. Look at this. Is this going to be a timeout for the Blue Devils? That's 3 for them here in the third quarter, 45 seconds. And listen to that crowd on the far side. Spotted them 21, Rick. 21-0 before the Tide arose from a slumber. And now I've gotten it 21-21 with 45 seconds left in the third quarter. Have the Blue Devils at a 3rd and 11. Blue Devils have used 3 timeouts here in this third quarter.
Yeah, and you've used a timeout on every drive.
Yes,
which
they
has just
have.
been crazy to think about here.
And we shall see what this turns into. 21-21, 45 seconds. Both teams sorting it out in this timeout. Rick, you've got them 3rd and behind the chains. You see Nolan Wilson waving the crowd on. You've got a turnover already in this third quarter that's helped change this ball game. Can the Tide go get another here, 3rd and 11? Blue Devils going to snap it from their own 33-yard line. High tackle, but should be clean right at the point of attack. And look at this Tide defense continue to show up and show out. That was Bolden. Something tells me there were some challenges passed out at the half, and so far this group in particular has accepted the challenge and gone beyond. Each possession has ended either in a punt or a turnover for the Blue Devils.
Boy, it had to be another play in the playbook that didn't involve Feaster running right into Nolan Wilson, but that's what they drew
Bolden,
up.
they were special right there. Jordan Hathorn going to put his heels, the returner back at the 34. Russell punts it away as the quarter expires. Look at this punt. Hits at the 15. It's still rolling down to the 6. Wow. Same result as last punt, too. Nolan Wilson banged up. He stretches out trying to block
why
it.
he's banged out. I mean, he gave everything he had. I mean, he was in a full Superman to try to get to that ball.
We'll return with your fourth quarter action, 21-21. Tide have reeled off 21 unanswered to get it back to even. We'll see you on the other side of this break with your fourth quarter action.
Rev up your ride with Topper World Truck Accessories, your one-stop shop in Gulfport and Slidell. Come in and talk to our experts on truck caps, tonneau covers, and spray-in bed liners. Topper World has next-day delivery and is offering a $100 rebate on select fiberglass truck caps. Our trained staff can get your truck ready to pull your boat to your favorite fishing hole or your camper to a dream vacation spot. Get to Topper World in Gulfport or Slidell for all your truck accessory needs, or look us up at topperworld.net.
We're back here at Lee Triplett Stadium with a fresh 12 minutes on the fourth quarter clock and an absolute doozy between Picayune and Pearl River Central. Tide didn't want the regular season to end without drama, spotted their neighbors and rivals to the north a 21 spot and a fall back to get it to 21-21. After a beautiful punt by Russell to close the quarter, Tide going to take over from their own 4. Here's Zay Dennis trying to make something of it and has. Up to the 16-yard line goes Zay Dennis. A really good run to start this drive for Zay Dennis. Tide dominated that third quarter, needed to and did. Accepted a challenge at the break.
They're going to give Zay a really good spot there, too. They're going to give him a 20-yard line spot to pick up of 16 yards for Zay. Going to put him over the 100-yard mark on the night.
Here's another give to Dennis. Dennis hit earlier, of course, in this run and going to be held on to and stopped. That was Aiden Inman in on the play. Also, Talon Johnson making yet another play. He's had a remarkable year for the Blue Devils. Just a really special season that Talon Johnson has been able to put together. Came in with 91 tackles, 12 tackles for losses, and 6 sacks for Talon Johnson. 2nd and 7, a fake toss and a throw over the head of Jordan Hathorn. He was there. He was open at the 26. Well over his head, sailed out of bounds and incomplete. It was a good play design. We're faking the power and then going to throw it back over to the right side after you fake the power to the left.
Yeah, boy, you could see Colt, his body language. He knew it. He just missed on that one. Rushed it out there a little bit too early.
See what the Tide can do with a 3rd and 8 opportunity. One long wide receiver, that's to the top. It's the give to the tailback and then to the wing back, and shellacked and stopped. The 20, lost a yard. Great read by Anthony Carpenter. Tide unable to do anything with it. Gonna have to punt it away. Great job by the defense for the Blue Devils. Gonna force a punt situation here from Wilson. Wilson just hit a boomer. His one thing that will scare you as a punter, he holds on to it a bit. He's just not a natural punter. He's a good soccer player in his day. He's hit a high kick that is hung up and then bounced at the 45 of the Blue Devils. It'll trickle down to the 34. That's where the Blue Devils will go to work. 10 minutes and 4 seconds left in an even ball game, 21-21.
We had a punter's duel here in the second half, but Devils, 2 punts, actually 3 punts and an interception has been all that they've been able to net. Maroon Tide's had 29-yard run for a touchdown from Zay Dennis, and then he goes in from 7 yards out. They've also had a turnover on downs and punted. So Maroon Tide doing just enough to stay in this ball game.
Yeah, which defense will kind of give here in this 4th quarter. Some high-octane offenses coming in. Do it differently, but have both been tough to stop throughout the year. 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Titus Feaster going to call his own number with better success here to the 40. Pick up about 4 or 5 to get this drive started. Tide have been doing a good job on that particular play, haven't allowed Titus to have the same success on the ground. Really on every play, they have been great here in this second half. Ball at the 40 of the Blue Devils, 2nd and 5. Titus fakes the run, gets it to his brother JJ, sure-handed as he can be, and he's got enough for the first down. He kept Jamari Hathorn on his hip, boxed him out, and was able to grab it for the first down. Shaken up after the catch for the 2nd or 3rd time tonight is Feaster.
Looks like he came down awkwardly, Clay. I hope he's okay. And something to look for here this second half. It looks like Jamari has been traveling with John Jr. tonight in the second half.
Head coach John Feaster out there to check on his youngin'. Didn't miss a chance to kind of pass on some direction to the Stripes again. He's worked them tonight. As you hope JJ's all right. He's had to fight some lower body, I believe, on 2 different occasions, maybe 3. Rick trying to gut it out for his team. What a ball game. 21-21, 9-10 left. That is a first down. 1st and 10 for the Blue Devils at their own 47. Titus Feaster calls his own number. There's a flag on the far side. Titus goes ahead to the 46, but there is a flag on the far side as Mitchell Smith set to check in defensively for the Tide. See what the flag is here. Flag's going to go against the Blue Devils, going to back up the Blue Devils.
Shoot themselves in the foot a bit here in the second half. And Clay, the offensive sets where they had 3 wide receivers to one side, we hadn't seen a lot of that here in the second half.
No, we saw a ton of it on tape, and that was a formation they lived in for.
And they lived in it in the first half. But see John Jr. here, too. He's taking a couple laps here on the sideline. Looks like he's ready to go back in this ball game.
Yeah, he looks better than I ever did. Good grief. Trying to get ready over here on this near sideline. Here is Titus Feaster trying to call his own number, and the Tide, credit them, have done a good job on that play here in the second half. That was Alls, who had a pick a minute ago, come up and make a nice play. Him and Kirkland have been better here in the second half.
Great angles there. Took a really good angle there. Perfect spot that he needed to be in. And, boy, you wonder here if Coach Feaster's trying to burn some of this clock, keeping it on the ground, trying to see if he's got a couple plays up his sleeve here.
When our linebackers are involved, this is a marked difference. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. Oh, somebody moved to the us or them. Here comes the debate. White had to have the ultimate choice on who did what. If it is against the Blue Devils, they have put themselves in reverse and are hurting themselves. It's a young offense for the Blue Devils. They're veteran players by and large on the defensive side, and this has been a young type drive. They've looked outstanding tonight, primarily in that first half, but this is a young type drive here in this fourth quarter.
Going to have it second McNeil here.
Titus looking to unload. He's got a guy. Russell caught it at the 45, foot race, 25, 20, 15, walking that far sideline, and look at this. McNeil and then some.
Yep.
And they went and got it. Wow.
Runs
Titus
all the way to
Feaster
Derby with it.
Titus Feaster to Corday Russell. Wiped away a long distance first down needed. They said, to heck with that. We'll go get a touchdown. 27-21, the Blue Devils lead it.
Going to be a 53-yard pitch and catch there, Clay, on second and very long.
Wow. Russell has dropped a couple, Rick. Those will be forgotten with a sprint after the catch like that. And that ball was up a little bit. He never broke stride. We talked about him not being utilized a whole lot in his last matchup. From the Picayune perspective, that was a good thing. He's been used tonight. He's a good football player. Blue Devils going for two here, Rick. Wow. So Blue Devils, instead of keeping everything just on schedule, said, nope, we're going to go for two. Now, they'll be penalized. You got to bring the kicker on here, I would think, Rick, after the penalty. Can't go for two after backing up 5. I wouldn't think. But look at this. This is interesting. 27-21. Blue Devils going for a 2-point conversion. First and goal, they say Russell was pushed out of bounds. I thought we were going for two here, Rick. Not a score a moment ago.
We never got a signal.
No, it's terrible. So that, excuse me, listeners and viewers, that was not a score. They said that Russell got pushed out of bounds, and so I was like, what is John doing, honestly? Yeah. But it was first and goal from right where a 2-point conversion would have been set up. And then they're going to say, nope, second and goal after that play down to the 5. I was sitting over here wondering. So 21-21 at even. Feaster looks to throw. Now he's under pressure. Tries to escape it. Stepping up, and Nolan Wilson will capture him there at the 5. So I apologize. I thought Russell got in for the score.
We never got a signal either way.
But they said he was out of bounds at the 2, which led me to believe that the offense was still out there to go for 2. All that's cleaned up, 21-21.
Boy, John Jr. trying to get himself back on the field. This is where he can be dangerous. We've seen him take those back shoulder fades in these situations, but don't have him on the field.
Yep, John Jr. has 7 touchdowns, now 8 on the year. A lot of those come from almost like a jump ball or alley-oop type look. Here we've got a defender down. I believe that's Nolan Wilson for the Tide. Timeout on the field. What a boo-boo by me, Rick. I had Russell in for
that's just a terrible display, and they just take the ball and set it like it's an extra point, about the same spot.
Yeah, I thought the Blue Devils were going for 2, but 21-21. Ducker did a good job not pulling a trigger on the whole scoreboard bug. Good job by you.
He saw
Ducker.
it, yeah.
He did. 6:07 left in this one after Nolan Wilson, who you don't want to miss a 3rd and goal. He doesn't have a choice. He's going to have to check out. Looks like he was suffering from a cramp there. But you're going to be without your best defender. 3rd and goal from the 5. Titus trying to pick ahead, and he'll score. 5-yard touchdown run there by Titus Feaster. So a score in the end for the Blue Devils. get it 27-21. And you will see the PAT unit on, and Tarter, who's perfect on the year in PATs. Blue Devils with their first score here in the second half, a 5-yard touchdown run by Titus Feaster, right where Nolan Wilson just checked out with a cramp.
That was huge. That was huge for their offense. So what we had down is a 53-yard touchdown from Titus Feaster to Corday Russell was not the case. It ends up being a 5-yard touchdown run by Titus Feaster, his second on the night.
And so the Blue Devils kind of lay dormant here for most of the second half, but get the touchdown they needed to go ahead pretty late in this one, Rick. Take this lead here with 5:53 left. That was a real good job. A good response by the young quarterback and Titus Feaster, getting his offense back on track.
Yeah, he never got rattled there, and he's thrown for 2, he's rushed for 2, and really I think that the touchdown pass that we thought it was probably worked better for the Devils. It took more time off the clock.
Yeah, it did, and you look back at that play, it was second about 22 when he made the pass to Russell. That really was the key play of that drive. Tarter going to kick it from his own 40, a really good kicker for these Blue Devils. Bryce Tarter, pop-up, got to squeeze it. Wilkins does at the 48. That's an onside type variety kick that Wilkins, the tight end, able to squeeze at the 47. That's where the Tide will take over their own 47. And Rick, just don't know how many more times you're going to touch it. That's the reality of it when you get to this stage on the clock. 5:51 left. Got to take advantage of all your opportunities if you're this Tide offense. Ball going to be over on the left hash. Tide will have one lone wide receiver. That's Fortenberry, bottom of the screen, trying to get it Dennis out to the right. He's across midfield. He's alive. 40-35, eventually out at the 26-yard line. There's a fumble at the end of it, well on the track over there on the far side. They'll say Zay Dennis is out of bounds at the 27, Rick. That's a 40-yard pickup there. Excuse me, a 20-yard pickup by Zay Dennis. So it will be spotted now at, they're going to put it at the 28. 28, that was a good run by Dennis.
Yeah, we're going to give him a 25-yard pickup there by Zay.
Bottled up for most of the night, but has had a good second half. Here he's got a couple good blocks off the right. Got it to about the 24 before he was whacked. Really good contact made there by, I believe that was Alfred again with another strong tackle.
Alfred's made some good plays tonight.
He has. It was a good pickup, though. 2nd and 5. That's a bit more on schedule for the Tide to be at 2nd and 5. 5 minutes remaining in tonight's ball game. Tide trail it by a touchdown. 28-21 on home turf, Lee Triplett Stadium tonight. Here is Jamari Hathorn. Nothing really doing there for Moto. Going to fall forward to about the 20, but it's going to bring up 3rd and short. Moto never really had his feet underneath him from the beginning of the run, it looked like. They're going to actually pull him back to the 21. Tide need a nice 3rd down play here, Rick, at the 4:20 mark in tonight's ball game. Have gotten it to the 21 of Pearl River Central. You'll have Igana at the fullback spot. It's Moto. Jamari Hathorn at the tailback. It's a gift to the fullback, Igana. Igana, like he's been so many times this year on that 3rd down play, is money. He's been good at that spot, and he'll have enough for the 1st down to the 15. Igana's from that fullback spot, Rick, averaging about 8 yards per touch.
Yep, he's been good, and they had it on the 15, going to put it back on the 14 now.
I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Igana's got 3 touchdowns. He has averaged 8.5 yards per touch. Here's a give to Jamari Hathorn, some kind of athlete. Just going to have to dive forward, though, to about the 12. Pretty minimal gain, maybe a gain of 4 there for Jamari. Tide working on the clock. 3:30. And I say that to say you got to score now with this drive.
That's only Jamari's second carry of the night.
2nd and 7. Ball at the 12 of the Tide. A give to Agana. Agana stood up and stopped. What a tackle in the hole there. What a big, big play.
That's Carpenter again.
Yep,
Carpenter's
Anthony Carpenter.
having himself a game.
That was a physical play from Carpenter. And look at it, Rick. We're under the 3-minute mark. The 4 seed
Well, if
for
you
the
can stand
district.
up Colin Lagana for no gain, you've done something.
That's the truth. 4 seed has the 1 seed down by a score here the week before the playoffs start. Here's a toss to Zay Dennis. Dennis tries to run through a tackle. He's spinning to stay alive. Hold on to the football with those spins. Down to the 9. And look at this 4th down that this is going to bring up. Wow. Got it to about the 9, Rick. 4th and 2.5 the Tide need. Need to get it inside the 7. Do the Tide. Or that'll be your ball game just about with only 2:15 left in this one.
Bring up a big 4th down here. Blue Devil fans on their feet here at Lee Triplett Stadium.
What a performance. Stormed out of the gates. Really could have had 35 in the first half.
Yep.
Got 21 out of the deal. Went into the locker room with a 21-7 advantage. The Tide with a good second half, but still trail it by 7. Timeout on the field. 2:15, all that's left, Rick. You have it down to the 9. It's resting over on the left hash. It's 4. Let's call it 3 instead of that 2.5. What do you think the Tide come out and run?
I think you're going to keep it on the ground here. I don't think they'll put it in the air. We'll have to see. I've been wrong before.
A give to the wing, a give to the tailback, the power. What do you think you run here, Rick?
I think you put it in the belly of Agana. See if he can go get you 3.
Agana's at that fullback position. He'll have the talented tailback and Zay Dennis behind him. He'll at the wide receiver to the left. Will be the fake toss, and then looking to throw is Colt Robertson under all kinds of pressure and will be dropped down at the 9. So fake the power, and then we're looking to throw the football. Nobody there for Colt Robertson to throw it to. And Blue Devils going to take over on downs, leading this one 28-21 with 2:06 left. And an absolute stun far side.
Yep,
for
still
Lee Triplett
got
Stadium.
2 timeouts left here. If you're the Maroon Tide, of course, the Devils have used theirs. Not a run the clock out situation, but you got to get a couple of stops.
You talked about the Tide keeping it on the ground. That's what you felt like they would do. Blue Devils, even with maybe a bit of a wrinkle there, were up to the task, gave the Tide nothing. See if the Blue Devils keep it on the ground here with Titus. They will. He calls his own number straight ahead. And got a pretty good gain, Rick. I mean, you kind of know the play call's coming there, and he goes up to the 14. That's a 5-yard pickup, sets up now 2nd and 5. You needed a better stop there from the Tide to be able to get the ball back potentially.
Yeah, clock going to continue to run here. No timeout used on 1st down. Coach Steiner, he's going to try to hold on to him as long as he can.
1:39 left in this one. Blue Devils about to try to pull off a stunner here. Lead it 28-21. Here comes Titus again. Stood up and stopped quicker here with just a yard gain. Across the 15 to the 16.
And I think now you burn one.
Yep, you do. 125. This crowd, you talk about a frenzy. That's what this crowd will be in if it goes to all zeros with their Blue Devils coming in and taking one on a Thursday night. In a lot of ways, Rick, this game could almost be turned meaningless. It'd be hard to sell anybody with any patch of blue on that tonight.
Yeah, been waiting for this for a long time. Maroon Tide trying to find a way to will their defense to get a stop here and
or punch
force
the
a
ball
punt.
out, Rick. I mean, could Nolan or Mitchell rip it away? I mean, is that in the cards? Could you break the hearts of the Blue Devils with a rip away here?
We've seen them do the things that you call out. Certainly rallied a pick from Cam Quinn last week. Let's see if you can get a strip.
A ball on a helmet. A rip away. Ball between the 15 and the 16 of the Blue Devils. 3rd and 3.5. Titus where he's been all night. That's that shotgun. No back there with him. They'll try to go straight ahead. He's up near the sticks, Rick. If he gets a first down, it's over.
Ball game. Yep. That'd be
We'll
ball
wait
game.
and see. They may measure it here. It's kind of a wheel contest here, a battle of the wheels when you knew they were going to run the ball 3 times, and kind of speaks to what it's been tonight. And it is a first down. Just manhandled the Tide there to get a first down. Kind of a summary of what we've seen for large portions of this one. Just going to nail it out. That's all you have to do at this point with 28-21. Your sophomore runs it 3 times, gets 10.5 yards, and that's all he needed to do was do that to seal it. He can hit a knee. The Blue Devils going to give the Tide their first district loss in a long time, Ricky Whitaker.
Yep.
Here comes Titus off the left side again. Surprising he didn't just hit a knee. Tide will stop him after a 5-yard gain, but he's getting 5 yards at a pop when he needs to. And Tide going to end a 20-plus game region winning streak. But more importantly, going to lose to the neighbors up north that hasn't happened in a long time. You and Ducker gave a date on it, Rick. How long has it been since the Blue Devils knocked off?
Them Blue Devils talking ball!
As interesting there from the coaching staff from the Blue Devils on the way out of the booth. Going to be snap back and just going to hit a knee as Blue Devils going to take this one 28-21. Final knee taken 28-21. Blue Devils going to take it on the home turf. Blue Devils find a way to make their way over there to shake hands and win this one 28-21. And yeah, as I thought, kind of spoke about beforehand that the teams don't, so that's what I was commenting on there, just to make sure nothing crazy happened after the fact. Both teams still with plenty to play for. Both will be in the playoffs next week. Tide will enter the playoffs as a 1 seed. I guess still out depending on that Long Beach Hancock score. We've been so riveted by this action here tonight, Rick, that I don't even know what Long Beach and Hancock were doing.
Well, last count we had, Hancock was on top 20-7, so it wasn't in hand by any chance. But I mean, you call this one what you want to. I mean, it's an upset. Anytime a 4 seed gets upset by a 1 seed, but what you hope, Clay, is that this serves as a wake-up call for the Tide heading into the playoffs.
Yep. You would hope it would serve as something positive for the Tide. Not going to feel good for a little bit. Lose to Pearl River Central 28-21. You looked at the night that the quarterback, the sophomore, had last week. And, boy, he took all of that momentum and certainly used it in the first half tonight. And that momentum, being able to get out to a 21-0 score was so big. And the Tide showed great fight, great heart, which you knew they would, coming out of the locker room.
Yeah, and you got to give it to them. I mean, they came in here and took it. They didn't wasn't anything that they had plays that they shouldn't have got that went their way. They come out here and they took the ball game, And really, man, games are always going to be chippy, especially if you have a county rival like this one. But I thought Blue Devils played a pretty clean game.
Yeah, both sides, really. When you mark on that, yep, that's right. 28-21 getting taunted here on the home side by both coaches and fans, man. And we try to call it as straight up as you ever want to hear it, and have been super supportive. Have a crew up top calling Blue Devil action for our brand. Pretty interesting take here by a few. 28-21. Blue Devils going to win this one tonight. Congratulations to Coach Feaster. And I know he would appreciate this being said, but more importantly, his two that had a remarkable impact on this one tonight. Titus and John Jr. played really good football. The Tide, let's look at it from the Tide perspective, Rick, have not played great at times throughout the year. Some of the things that we've talked about, some extracurriculars that have back the Tide up. We've been able to survive it. Not tonight. Some of the small things that we've kind of trying to hone in on or chime in on cost the Tide tonight. And Blue Devils going to take it over the Maroon Tide 28-21. Tide most likely will have George County here on Friday night. That will be it doesn't feel like it at the moment, but with much more meaning on the line, as that will be the beginning of the 6A playoffs. How do you think this loss to your rival in the Blue Devils kind of wakes you up and maybe sparks you to go on a playoff run?
Well, I mean, you don't have a choice because you come out and have this kind of effort again next week. Your season's going to be over, but you had a 21-7 game at the half, and Picayune comes out and really quickly in 3 or 4 plays, Zay Dennis goes in from 29 yards out for a touchdown to make it 14-21. 2 punts by the Devils and an interception by Alls. That was their first 3 series. As Zay Dennis goes in again from 7 yards out, ties it up at 21, and then a punt by PRC after that. Couldn't do a whole lot with it, but Picayune punted and had a turnover on downs. And then Feaster hooks up with Corday Russell for a beautiful 53-yard pitch and catch, and then goes in, calls his own number, goes in from 5 yards out. And I don't have Titus Feaster's final stats on the night, but he had a 37-yard touchdown pass to Russell. He had a 25-yard touchdown pass to his brother JJ, and then he ran for 2 tonight. So the sophomore really carried this offense, and it didn't look good coming out in the second half. We thought maybe things would turn a little bit, but Devils just continued to fight on defense and found a way to pull out a very, very big win for them. Final stats on the night, just really eye-opening in itself. Zay Dennis, 21 rushes for 134 yards, had all 3 scores for the Tide. That's 6.4 yards per carry. Maroon Tide on the night, 30 rushes, 185, 3 touchdowns, 6.1 yards per carry. So we were getting very, very comfortable with seeing those 9 and 10 yards per carry averages, but not the case tonight. Blue Devils came out and just wanted it more. They played tough, played with a lot of intensity, and again, I mean, if you're going to have a down game and then it results in a loss, you want to have it now.
Yeah, that's debatable, right? Against that rivalry that you're going to hear about maybe 2 weeks ago or a couple weeks ago or 3. But I get your sentiment there, Rick.
As long as it's in the regular season.
Yeah, no, I agree with that completely. But this one's going to sting a while for the Maroon and Gray, for our Maroon Tide. And from Pearl River Central, you got to take this and then kind of flush it as well, right? This win's not going to mean anything. You can't take this one with you to Hattiesburg or West Jones. They're not going to care anything about this result. You probably put more kind of a bullseye. Either one of those staffs are going to be able to say, hey, if they're capable of beating Picayune in their home space, what makes you think you're any different? So you're going to get a grade A effort out of Hattiesburg Tigers or the West Jones Mustangs next week. If you're this Pearl River Central club, the Tide going to have playoff action starting next week. That'll be a next Friday at home. Rick, good news is you've earned the 1 seed, and that should result in back-to-back home playoff games for the Tide. So we should be in a friendly confines of Lee Triplett Stadium for a couple weeks, I believe, is the way this should play out.
Yep, gonna be at home for sure next week, and just not a lot of updates here with scores. Third quarter still showing Hancock on top of Long Beach 20-7. I'm sure it's changed from what we gave you at the half, and of course Pascagoula all over Gaucher 42-3. I think that was the score that Darren had at the half as well. So not really sure how those went final. Have to just wait and see, I guess. But either way, we're back here at home, and boy, the Devils taking their time getting off this Maroon Tide field.
Yep, that won't be super popular. I'm just going to be honest with you. Rick, we'll have our post-game podcast. That will be Greg Ducker, Jeremy Shesby will run down some interviews with players and coaches. We'll have that post-game podcast for the Picayune perspective. If you want to hear more about the Pearl River Central perspective, Jeff Lossett, Caden Smith, Ethan Lossett do a remarkable job with our Pearl River Central coverage as well. And so you hear from us again next Friday night in playoff action. The Tide most likely going to be taking on the George County Rebels here for round one of the 6A playoffs. Love God, love people. Pearl River Central takes it tonight, 28-21 over our Picayune Maroon Tide.